everyone! Crazy UFO Kid, how are you doing? Record 1, good to see you back. Accentique, hello, hola, como estas? Mihai9, hello. Jade Simpson Kikta, hello, how are you? We also got Jay Waldumums III, hello. Azuraga, hello, how are you doing? Blue Sniper Zero, how are you doing? Took me a minute to decipher that one. Serpent Knight, hello, welcome back. Revocello, hi, love your videos, thank you very much, that means a lot. Glad to see so many people here and happy to be here. Penguin Starborn, I don't remember I said your name, but hello, thank you for being here. Mob Skiki, hello, how you doing? I like that little Chikorita icon. I think, what is that above? The penguin has, a Tepig. Are those like starters for Legends EA? Because I've been playing that on and off lately, and I chose Chikorita myself. Oh, and the background music, somebody asked, that was actually made for me, by Blame It on George. So it's not anything you can find online. I just, my first stream, I got a ton of copyright claims for, like, the mix I was using. So, he just made that for me real quick, and I'm very grateful. So I'm glad you guys are I'm glad you guys like it. Moshi Moshi, CJ Takes Pics, hello. Smith Zero, how you doing? Ashley Rowan, Smug JC, Jennifer Smith, 906 Gee, Pedro Arroyo, Danny Vasquez, Coin Guy 2762, Cole Van Soak, Third Wheel Legend, Yuki Tanaka, and Matt Boy. Yeah, comment George W, for real. Oh, and Alistair also, and Manon. I'm sorry. Some of these names I'm like, how do I say that? Just get my setup. Today's gonna be a Lost Media Day. Let's see. Yeah, these icons were given for people who gifted to streamers playing ZA during the first week. Oh, that's cool! Oh my gosh. I've been wanting to like stream that, but I haven't got my capture card going yet. Maybe I'll do it a little later. I'm a big Pokemon fan, and I'm a big Gen 2 fan, so I'm really happy to see all the Gen 2 love in this specific game. Sub for the first time to one of my favorite streamers because of it? That's awesome! Background music reminds me of Arknights. Interesting, I've never heard of that. I'm doing good, Azura. It's been a slow day. I mean, I always say that when I stream, but it's genuinely always a pretty slow day because, Scribbles VT, how you doing? I'm always... The life of a content creator isn't really a very interesting one, to be all completely honest. I'm usually just at my computer, working, editing. Editing's very tedious. Recording's very tedious. Research is very tedious. So when I'm like, my day's going good, but it's not usually very eventful, is my point. Also, it looks adorably like Pichon from the manga, my favorite manga, Ranma 1/2. It does look like Pichon. I've never been a big Tepig fan, but when you put it that way, I actually I can see the appeal of Tepig because I love Ranma. Ranma's one of my favorite manga. I love early Rumiko Takahashi. If I ever find a Tepig, perfect, have I never thought of this? No, for real. If I got Tepig, that was not one I was thinking of getting at all. I actually have now. I have both Chikorita and Totodile. I'm such a Gen 2 fan, enjoyer, that I had to get both. I had to have both, so... Now I have both. I have Feraligatr and Meganium. Don't spoil anything though, guys. No. Like for real, don't spoil anything beyond that because I just started playing the game. And I don't know about any of the megas, any of the new megas, so please don't spoil anything. Please. Skylar Rainbow, hello, how you doing? Coinster2763, good evening. I should watch Ranma 1/2, looks funny as fuck. It's pretty funny, yeah. The remake's okay, in my opinion, but I would definitely go to the original one to get that, like, original, like, late 80s aesthetic. Gen 2 Enjoyer, Spotted Rail, yeah. No, those are my favorite. I love Gen 2. So, Soul Silver is so goated, and I really think we're overdue for a Johto remake. Because the last ones, though, while they weren't very good, like, they were pretty half-assed in my opinion, were Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But, like, chronologically, like, the next oldest game would be Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and we did get a Kanto remake technically with Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. So, I'm hoping we get a Johto remake soon. Or at least some kind of Legends game. Maybe it'll take place in, like, Ecruteak City or something. I don't know. I just want a remake of Gold and Silver. Those are my favorite. Crystal, too. Crystal's, like, the perfected version of that. Did you see the Chainsaw movie, man? Did you see the Chainsaw Man movie at all? I did not. I'm not up to date at all with Chainsaw Man, so I haven't really been keeping up with that. But I liked what I've seen so far with Chainsaw Man, so eventually I'll get back to my backlog and finish it. Saw a fan trailer someone did. It was like Detective Pikachu meets Blade Runner. That's sick. I love Blade Runner. Let me see, did I miss anyone on the... Oh, Bobby Boulon. Hello, how are you doing? I am looking at the YouTube chat, guys, but the way Twitch works when you multi-stream is you have to have the YouTube chat on... You can't have the YouTube chat on the screen. You have to have a Twitch chat on the screen if you're multi-streaming, unfortunately. Hi, finally able to catch a stream. Welcome, N-Body. How are you doing? Glad to see you here. But yeah, no, I said hello to a ton of people from the YouTube chat just now. Cole Van Soak, I believe. Third Wheel Legend, hello. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said hello to everyone here. I think I just missed Wholesale and Bobby Boulon. No, I can see you, but I literally cannot show it on screen. It's just how Twitch... It's a Twitch terms of service thing, unfortunately. Nope, Twitch doesn't allow it. If you look under their terms of service, if we're multi-streaming, years ago, they wouldn't even allow you to multi-stream at all. Like, you just couldn't do it. But recently, like in recent years, they have allowed you to do that, but you can't have YouTube chat on screen. And if you see a lot of people who multi-stream, one I follow fairly regularly on YouTube and Twitch is his name's Maximilian Dude. He's a gaming streamer. He likes fighting games. You can see he has Twitch chat on screen, but he doesn't have YouTube chat on stream. On screen. I don't know why I keep saying stream. No, you can't. It doesn't let you. And most people who do multi-stream just don't do that. It's a bit tedious, but it's whatever. I just want to reach both people on both platforms, and you know, I was watching on YouTube a bit ago, then logged into Twitch. Nice. Hey Sakura, how are you doing? Hi, Juan M. I'm doing pretty good. Like I was telling everyone, been a pretty slow day, but my days are typically pretty slow as a content creator, because when you work from home and you're just like editing videos and doing stuff all day, that's just takes place in your room and at your desk. It's pretty slow. Casey Iwi. I like all of those. I love those little emoji guys. Hello, how are you doing? I'm so new to Twitch. Like whenever I see those cute little reaction like emojis, like I'm just like distracted. I'm like a moth to a flame. I'm like, whoa, what's that? I'm doing well, Casey. Hi, Leonx8, how you doing? Glad to see such a good turnout. For a Tuesday evening especially, because like I was supposed to stream yesterday, but I was figuring out the multi-streaming thing. It just wouldn't work. It would either do one or the other, and then like when I tried to only, like even when I was just doing on one platform, it would keep disconnecting. I think I found out what the issue is. Yeah, same, they're fun to collect. Yeah, no, like I want to collect more, and it gives you a bit of an incentive. So like once I make affiliate, at least I'll try. I think once you reach affiliate, you can have stickers. So I'm gonna put some stickers up once I reach that point. I do have some of my YouTube, like my YouTube channel members get perks too, but another reason I've been wanting to use Twitch more is just use those stickers that I've had for a couple years now. They're really cute. I have one that's just Cheems, the dog, and he has the Sakura hair. Affiliate, you get emotes. Okay, cool. I think I'm on my way there. I've been checking in every now and then, and I think I'm almost there. So I'm really excited about that, like extremely excited. Yeah! Accentique, they're grooving. Hi Pop Rock, how you doing? Thanks for joining us again today. Oh, but as Cosmic Order 420 joined through here. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. I am happy. We're on YouTube and Twitch today, and like I was saying, it was I had to figure out why like multi-streaming wasn't working, and it sucked. And every time, like even when I stream on like just one, it would keep disconnecting. Like my last couple streams, like my Digimon stream, and then the Lost Media stream a little while back, they kept disconnecting, and it was really annoying. It was only going through Twitch, so I was like, what is going on? Like, my internet's great. My internet's, like, the minimum you need is, like, 10 megabits per second. Mine's well above that. So, it was annoying. But I think I got it. I was using Restream for the original, like, multi-stream. And I kept redoing everything, making sure the stream key was correct and all that. It just wouldn't work. So I ended up saying, like, you know, screw it. And went to get this thing called Aitum Multistream, AITUM Multistream. And I downloaded that. It's like, it's integrated into OBS. So you just press record on the outlets you want to go live on. And that's it. That's literally it. And it's great. It's been really nice so far, at least from what I'm looking at on my end. And YouTube looks clear, Twitch looks clear. I think it's all good. We're all happy. Everyone's happy, I hope. I'm pretty sure you can have the viewer counts for affiliate. You probably just need hours streamed. Oh yeah, Leon. I definitely, like, I am so grateful to have the viewership I have just starting out on Twitch like this, because for real, like, I guess there's a chart somewhere. I forgot where I saw it. But apparently most people starting out on Twitch because there's no, like, the way you get discovered on Twitch isn't very good. And they naturally give, like, more, what's the word? They push the videos by partners and affiliates more naturally. So if you're brand new on Twitch, it's really hard to get a following because a lot of people are just streaming to 0 to 1 people. And I think it's like 95% or 90% of people on Twitch only get like 0 to 5 viewers for a really long time. So getting to even just above 10 viewers is really good. Like, I didn't know that. I was like, because I think my first stream got like 80, and my debut stream. And I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. And then, like, I looked at the chart and I was like, oh, apparently that's not very common. And, like, of course I have the YouTube channel, and, like, promoting through that has really helped. But yeah, no, it's really hard to actually get viewers on Twitch. So I am well on my way to, like, getting affiliate at least. Yeah, but of course you have a loyal YouTube following. Yeah, I'm not saying I don't. And I'm saying, like, I'm generally just grateful that I have that, because if I didn't, like, grinding on Twitch looks very difficult, especially in this day and age. So, like, mad props to the people who are out there streaming every day, day after day after day, and only to, like, 0 to 1 people. Like, that has to take a lot of dedication and discipline and just a lot of courage to just keep doing that every day. Like, I remember my very first stream. I did it through my PS4 when I was, like, very new to YouTube. It was on YouTube, and it was in like 2015. I streamed Final Fantasy 15, and then I also streamed JoJo Eyes of Heaven, that JoJo fighting game on there, and I got like 5 people tops, and nobody really talked in the chat, very rarely. And I know how it feels to, like, just, you know, stream to no actual, like, engagement. You just kind of got to do your own thing and, like, just basically, like, just make it a let's play, I guess. And no, mad props to the people who do that regularly and grow their channel that way. Like, that's the way you grow. Like, even as a YouTuber with my YouTube videos, like, it took me years to, like, get to where I am now. Like, it just takes consistency. You don't usually blow up right away. That's pretty rare. Yeah, the channel I watch on Mondays only ever gets above 30 viewers when there's a raid. He's Lost Media adjacent, though. Oh, interesting. What's their name? I'm always happy to learn about other Lost Media creators. Unless I know of them already. If you're talking about El Supersonic Q, I definitely know them. Don't mind me, I'm just looking for where I put my water. There it is. The grind never ends. No, for real. Like, when I was brand new to YouTube, I didn't get a substantial, like, video with views on it until, like, 2020. It took me, like, 5 years. Yeah, no. And, like, I do have an existing following, but I was once in a place where I didn't have an existing following at all. Like, I was once in a place only getting like 200 views per video back when I was doing like anime and gaming reviews in like 2015, 2016. I even quit for like a year during 2019 when my health got really bad. Like, I know how it feels to be on that grind and it feels like nothing's working, but eventually I got into the lost media community. I learned about all these niche Japanese lost media topics, and I was in college at the time studying Japanese, and I was like, oh, I can actually like shed more light on this kind of stuff, and I kind of found a niche from there. Small indie channel, blame it on George. Yes, you may have heard of him. Uncommon Ephemera. He mainly archives the film strip format, but his Monday streams are focused on looking through VHS tapes. Oh, does he stream on YouTube? I think I've seen him before. Like I mean to like. This would have been last year. I don't know if he's been doing it that long, but I'm pretty sure I saw that guy, and it gave me the idea to do that myself, but I just don't know how to do it, and I'm also terrified that I'll come across something, like, really inappropriate in one of the VHS tapes, and then, like, you know, that would be bad. But I've always wanted to do that. It requires a lot of technology that I just don't have right now. But I'm really into preserving VHS tapes. I go to like estate sales and buy like recorded onto VHS tapes from like these estate sales where the people usually are about to throw them out. And I have a ton. I have bins of them. I just haven't had the chance to go through them all. And even when I do, I don't know how I will know if what's lost media and what isn't. Like there's some really lettuce, what the fuck? I don't know if, like, for example, like the TAT movie logo, a TV logo. It's a TV logo, TAT Productions. I wouldn't have known that was lost media if it popped up on one of my VHS tapes. Like, I don't know what the heck that is, but I do now. But like, that's why streaming that kind of stuff is so cool and so important, because then it helps get eyes on it. Because there's a ton of lost media niches, and when it gets the eyes, when the right people put their eyes on stuff like that, like, it really helps. It really helps. Suggestion for anime: Tencho x Toho stuff in general would be cool. Coffee flavored milk. Are you talking about lost media? Because I get a lot of suggestions for Toho and Toku stuff. When you're your own boss, it sure must take passion and discipline. No, for real. For real. It genuinely does take a lot of discipline and a lot of, like, it's really easy to lose the spark. Like, when you're doing, even if it's something you love, it's really hard to just keep that fire and keep that passion about what you're doing and what you're making, because, you know, there'll be like deadlines, and you gotta, like, once it becomes your livelihood, it adds a lot of stress to it, which is fine, and I'm so grateful for that. Like, I have a chronic illness, so the ability for me to be able to, like, work from home and work on content and work on stuff I love is a dream come true. Like, absolutely a dream come true. But it does take a lot of discipline, and I really gotta, like, give myself a schedule to really get stuff done. And, like, sometimes I need to take, like, days off to, like, rest because of my health, and my health, you know, fucks up. But yeah, no, absolutely, it does take discipline. The OG Inhuman. Hi, first time catching you on Twitch. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad people are catching me for the first time today. Like, I did not expect this, like, random Tuesday evening stream to, you know, you pop off a little bit. I think I completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, but what I was going to say is I meant to stream yesterday. Multi-streaming didn't work, and it sucked, and it made me a little mad. But it's because I was using Restream, and Restream was the issue. But now I'm using Item Multi-Stream, or Atom Multi-Stream, and that's good. That's the good one, and that's the one that gets more praise from people who stream. It's free. It's completely free too. So looks like we're doing good. And I'm like looking on YouTube and Twitch right now, and it looks like we're doing great. Hey Stardust, have you ever seen the channel Kyoto Robato? It's all mystery and crime, all based in Japan. Thought you might be down your alley. Yeah, no. I've heard of him, and whenever I research for certain topics, I do see his videos come up. I'm not really, like, I do talk about true crime in my content on Sakura Stardust, but I'm not a true crime enjoyer, like, aside from my content. I talk about it because I like to bring attention to these topics, because they're not things a lot of people are talking about. But as far as, like, watching about true crime and stuff, like, I don't really do that in my free time. But no, I do know about his content. It's really good stuff. He talked about this one case, that has lost media linked to it that I discussed in a video. I forgot what the case is called, but it's this woman that ended up being, she went missing in the mountains, and like near a hot spring resort, and they found her camera like near her body. Unfortunately, she was murdered, and there were 5 photos on it, and some of the photos are lost media, and one of the last photo is believed to be like right before she was, like, you know, murdered. And he had a video on that, and like it was kind of hard to like get the, like, I found like niche like Japanese blogs on it and like other stuff like online, but I couldn't really get the like timeline of events and like what those photos exactly were of and which ones were missing. And then I watched his video, and it was a huge help. I forgot what it's called. It's the something hot springs case or something dam case. It's like, I know I literally just covered this like a couple of weeks ago, but I cover so many things that I often just like, it's like in one ear and then out the other once the video is done, and then I'm on to the next video, and then that like takes up all my attention span, you know? I wish I was more of a true crime enjoyer. I was at a Halloween themed pub quiz earlier, and there's a whole round of serial killer nicknames. I only identified about 3 of them. 3 of 10. I think she took pictures of her journey up until she got murdered. Might be misremembering though. Yeah, no, I believe the final photo was her, like, someone took it of her, and she apparently she was frowning, and she was like in front of a field. So it's whoever took that photo is likely the assailant, of course. Like, it's a weird case. And then someone came forward a little while after that, and like to the police, and said that he was the one who took the photo, and that he lied and said he didn't know how to use a camera to like mess around with her or something. It's a really weird case. Like, I don't I'm not big on true crime, but that one was so, yeah, Kirizumi Onsen incident, that's it. Thank you Lunar Blue. That is absolutely it. It's a weird one. It's a weird one, and it's so sad and tragic. The girl was she was fairly young, and she went traveling to that place alone because her family couldn't make it. There was a bunch of like, it was supposed to be a family trip, and everyone's plans fell through basically for different reasons. It's a really sad incident, really sad case. I don't know about new topics for mysteries, but I want to say my favorite video of yours in that vein is the one about Spell. Just a really cool but low stakes rabbit hole. No, for real. Phantom Part 2, like, that's such a cool mystery. True crime feels kind of exploitative to me. Yeah, me too. I understand why people consume true crime media. I'm not saying like it's wrong for them to do that. It just makes me, it puts me in a bad mood, I guess. It just makes me feel a bit uneasy. I just can't enjoy it as a piece of media. But I think spreading awareness about dark topics is also important, even if it does make people uncomfortable. It's just, you know, it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna, like, bash anyone who enjoys it. It's not for me, but I can see the importance of, like, discussing these things as well. Have you heard of the lost footage of the 1967 San Remo Music Festival? I have not. I've never heard of that. Is there a LMW wiki on it? Article? I can look into that real quick. Give me a minute. I also want to say, yeah, I enjoy seeing true crime, but I would be lying if I said it doesn't get to me. No, for real, like, my grandma loved true crime, and she would watch, like, Unsolved Mysteries and Snapped and stuff like that all day, and it would just get to me. Like, during a period in my life when I was, taking care of my grandma when during like the final years of her life. She would constantly watch that stuff, and I would wake up at like 2 a.m. and she was really hard of hearing, so like I would wake up at like 2 a.m. and she'd be watching these true crime shows like really loud in the next room, and I would wake up to like and her body was found with the severed head, or like just really gory, awful details of like these poor women or people that were like the victims of these things, and I'd be like, okay, well, there goes my sound sleep. She was cool, but she loved her true crime, like. And I remember growing up, even being a little kid, and she'd have like Law and Order, the TV show Law and Order on, and it was just the background noise while she would like babysit me, and yeah, I don't like it because it just was always like in the background, and I was like, oh, that sounds awful. I don't like that. So it's never been my thing, but it was definitely her thing. She probably would love that. I cover those topics now, honestly, every now and then. She loved like crime novels too, like James Patterson novels, who's a really famous like true crime writer. Like he writes fictional works, but he's really well known for that stuff. That was like her favorite author. She owned like all the books up until her passing. My sister is the same way with those true crime Law and Order shows. Yeah, no, for real. I understand that. Paprika Maru, no, I definitely understand that. I can provide the San Remo story. Ashley, if you can do that, that'd be cool. I just need like a link to it. Because what we're gonna do this stream is, yeah, he's written a ton of books, Smith Zero, like hundreds. Like, oh, also, I'm really curious about the Lost Doraemon movie from Taiwan. I've heard of that, but I've yet to look into it. And I know there is so much Lost Doraemon stuff. Like, I'm so baffled. Like, between Lost English dubs, between like a special that like highlights people with disabilities that was found recently, though. There's so much of it. There's so much Lost Doraemon stuff. Oh, okay, Ashley Rowan, thank you for providing info on that music festival. It's a music festival in Italy. Its 17th edition has a lost recording because the original tape got lost because of an incident. One of the contestants was named Luigi Tenko. He sang Ciao Amore Ciao. However, the song wasn't well received by judges, so Tenko fell into a Great Depression. Oh, that's unfortunate. Rest in peace, Luigi. Oh, okay. I don't know if we can discuss that one on stream. I'm trying to avoid, like, tragic stuff that involves, like, the tragedy of people, like, as far as the topics we discuss, like, on here. No, that's really... The tape got kind of found, but only about 40 minutes. Interesting. Like, feel free to look into that on your own accord, guys. That sounds very interesting. I just don't want to highlight things that involve tragedy. This is more of a place for, like, general lost media, where, like, the more dark stuff I'm gonna put on main. This is just more like a chill space, I guess, if that makes sense. Just know that he's a legend, in my opinion. Oh, interesting. I mean, if it celebrates him, does it have anything to do, like, did he pass, like, during the performance? Or, like, during the show itself? I just don't want to highlight anything tragic or unfortunate. No, okay. Yeah, I guess we can look at it. If anything, like, super bad is in there, though, I'll just switch to something else. I also do have suggestions from people on social media that I've saved that we can talk about in a bit. So not just stuff people are recommending on stream, but stuff I already have, like, pre-planned from, like, people that gave me stuff on Twitter and YouTube and Instagram. So we'll be talking about that too. So if anyone, like, left a suggestion, I already got, like, 10 of them that I'll start going through. No promises that we'll go through all of it, because that would probably take a while. But yeah. There's also a conspiracy theory that a Polish television station, TVP2, has the whole tape in their possession because they retransmitted Anna Jantar's song. Oh, wow. Whoa, there's a lot to this one. Alright, we can dig into that. What's it called again? I already forgot. And I realize now that I, like, pronounce it in, like, a Japanese phonetics, and it's not even Japanese. Let me see. What is that music festival called? I'm trying to find it. As long as, like, Mihai, as long as it's not like, hi, Frank, no, Fran Hakase, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Maybe don't read it. I mean, let me look at it over here privately first, and then I'll be the judge of that. I'll be the judge of that. Just give me a minute. What is it called again? Sorry, San Remo Music Festival. Like, I don't want to, like, exploit things that are, like, you know, death footage, or, things that have to do with true crime, like lost media that has to do with true crime, or, like, just things that are, like, footage of disturbing events, like the Grizzly Man stuff, like, that's what I mean. Let me see, is there an LMW article? Hang on, I'm looking. Oops. I'm not angry. I just accidentally pressed the button to make her angry. Sorry. And thank you, Ashley. I got the name and I'm looking it up. And yeah, like, his passing wasn't a crime, but it's still, it's still quite unfortunate. Like, it's not a happy thing. Let me see. Alright, yeah, like, I found a Reddit post, and it's not super explicit, but it is kind of unfortunate, so maybe we'll skip this one. Doesn't look like there's an LMW article, interestingly enough, at least not one that I can find. I found a WordPress article. Ooh, yeah. Okay, yeah. This one goes into more detail. Yeah, this one's a little too heavy. So I'm sorry about that, guys, but we'll get into other stuff. We can get into, like, Doraemon 1973 at some point, maybe. Sorry, my bad. I was thinking the footage didn't show anything. It may be safer. No, it doesn't. The footage itself doesn't show anything, but I'm not seeing any LMW articles, and the articles I am finding are going into more gory details about Luigi himself, and I don't think that may be, like, appropriate for this brand, this stream. So yeah. But feel free to look it up, guys. Like, it's an interesting read. I just don't want to get into anything super uncomfortable. Hong Long Meng... why can't I pronounce things? Hong Lu Meng, Story of Stone, Dream of the Red Chamber has lost media. I can't remember what exactly, but I think chapters of it were lost, and the ending was never finished from what I remember, because the endings available to the public were created by other people, not Cao Zhuguan. The most accepted ending was created by a close friend. My memory is really hazy, but I only know this because a character from a gacha game that I really like is based off a character in the story. Interesting. Well, I'm not super big on gacha games, so I have no idea where the reference is. I've played a little Genshin, and I've played a little Infinity Nikki before they retconned everything. But yeah, no, I'm not familiar with that. Hi, Sukotsuko, how you doing? If you're talking about Luigi's Mansion, there was a shadow glitch in the original game. Excellent, Boyalini. We are not talking about Luigi's Mansion, unfortunately. We are talking about, like, a real-life tragedy with somebody named Luigi during the 60s. What was it called again? Oh my god. Where is it? Where is it? San Remo Music Festival, 1967. I want to start learning Japanese, but the language looks scary with pitch, accent, and kanji. Also, apparently it takes 7 years to finish. The OG Inhuman, I get this question a lot. I should maybe just make a video to direct people to. Japanese is a difficult language if you're a native English speaker. It is very difficult to learn. And, well, not necessarily difficult, but it is, it takes a long time and a lot of dedication and a lot of application. I started learning it in middle school, and I just kind of stuck with it on and off until college, and that's how I got to where I am. I absolutely think you should not learn it through, like, Duolingo. That's not gonna do any good. Like, you can't learn anything that you can actually apply there, really, in my opinion. At least, like, long term. Like, you're not gonna learn Japanese and become fluent through Duolingo. Absolutely not. But if you do want to learn, I recommend taking a class, and I would recommend applying it very, very regularly. And yeah, like, that's really the best thing you could do. Like, just taking a class and doing it. Because, like, self-study is one thing and you can learn at home, but applying it with people is how you actually become, like, a Japanese speaker. I remember you said on stream last year that you still had your books and notes when you were learning it. You still got them. I do, but, like, I recently moved, so I have no idea where they are right now. And change your phone UI to Japanese. No. Accentique is absolutely right. Like, change your phone UI, like, get the keyboard to Japanese. If you play, like, Game Boy games in Japanese, like, if you play Pokemon Red or Blue in Japanese, it's a really good way to learn how to read Japanese, like, very basic Japanese, because those Game Boy games do not use kanji. They just use, like, hiragana and katakana. You might like that being, you might like it that being there's a YouTube channel called Joy-Con Boys making an effort to bring back Etika's original channel. The video is called Let's Bring Etika's Channel Back. Oh my gosh. That'd be cool. I remember when Etika's channel went down, and, I don't know how they can make that happen. Wouldn't they need to convince YouTube to, like, put it back up? 'Cause I remember... I mean, there's a lot of clips still up, but I'm sure there's plenty of lost media, and, like, I don't know. That would be cool, but I don't know how, like, actually realistic that is. I think it's crazy when you remember watching something you find out years later that it is lost. That was me with the kids show Big Green Rabbit. Yeah, no, they recently found, media relating to a SpongeBob ride from Six Flags, and, I didn't realize that that was lost media at all, because I went on that ride as a kid, so that was fun. There's a few others. I love watching Etika Smash Bros reacting. Oh, absolutely. And I used to be, like, I still am. I'm a huge fan of Etika and his streams. I used to catch his streams all the time. I loved his Smash reactions. His reaction to Cloud in Smash is so funny. And his reaction to the JoJo, like, Phantom Blood episodes, that was crazy too. I remember him, like, threatening Dio with a knife, and that was, like, the funniest shit. Now, I miss Etika. I miss Etika a lot. We couldn't confuse YouTube to keep the dislike button. Yeah, the dislike button is long gone. We can still see it. Us creators can still see it, by the way, so I can still see the dislike bar, but, like, it's not, like, publicly up. Oh, is that no kanji on the Game Boy thing because of resolution? Probably, Ashley. I'm not entirely sure. Hey Sakura, how's the stream going? Your model looks awesome. Thank you, Rage Against My Hairline. That's an awesome name. It's been going good, and I'm sorry if I'm not responding to the YouTube chat as much. It's just I can't have the YouTube chat on screen, unfortunately, because Twitch, TOS stuff. So, but I am peeping. I am peeping every now and then. It's late for me, so I'm going to sign off. Have a good night, Yuki. Have you heard of the opera? Why can't I talk? Operating system mascots, the OSTON. Yeah, I made a video on 2chan stuff a couple years ago, and I talked about them. Hey, so I saw the description on the channel, and I see that it described you as a fairy. Is that right? Yes. Yes, I am a lost media fairy. I am a guardian of media and memories and lore, and that is my job. I preserve memories and media, but my fairy form is not activated yet. But someday, I'll have the fairy form as a model, and then we'll get into the lore more. I'm actually looking. I'm working on like a one-shot manga with the lore and like videos and stuff, so all that will be like fleshed out more. It's just me. Like, I'm just the only person doing this stuff. Like, a lot of VTubers, they have, like, a whole team, and they have, like, a company managing them. It's just me. I'm independent. So, you know, I'll get to it when I can. I'm also making, like, big YouTube videos at the same time. As a matter of fact, speaking of that, I have a YouTube video going live tonight on Sakura Stardust. So, look forward to that, guys. It's a little Halloween special. It's on a super long video. It's, like, 17 minutes, but look forward to it. It's going live tonight. When I'm done streaming, I'll like get that ready. So look forward to that, guys. Hey Sakura, how's the stream? Oh, I just read that. What is wrong with me? No worries about responding. Just enjoy yourself and do what makes the stream fun and smooth. Thanks for saying hi. No worries. Nice new vid. Yeah, no. It's not the Y2K one just yet. That one's over an hour long, and I added a ton of stuff, so it's taken some time. But it's a Halloween video. It's just a fun little Halloween video, and I will get the other stuff out, the Y2K stuff out when I can, and then after that I'm working on a 2chan iceberg. It's a lot, but I'm doing it. And I'm also going to get some more shorts up on the VTuber channel and some more like actual videos on like general lost media stuff. I do have a couple shorts out on the YouTube channel, and I'll put the VODs up too. I have some VODs up on Twitch right now, but I'll move them over when I can. This one will be on YouTube though, because YouTube saves them automatically, but the other one, when I couldn't multi-stream, is over on Twitch when we play Digimon. We'll play Digimon again also. Before I forget, we'll play Digimon again. I'm going to alternate between Lost Media days and gaming days. I also want to play Coral Island. It's a farming sim. Ooh, Halloween vid for my breakfast, yes. One of my parents remembers a chocolate bar from the 70s or 80s called the Zeus bar, but neither of us can find anything about it online. That's interesting. I've never heard of that. My parents were kids in the 70s. Maybe they might know about it. And the 80s. Have you ever used 2chan yourself? Yeah, I've done a lot of well, okay. 2chan is no longer up, but there is 5channel. And, Futaba, what's the other one? There's another one that's confused with 2chan. I've used the ones that are currently up still. As far as 2chan, I have done a lot of lurking in archives for videos. And, as far as the boards, like, I mostly lurked. Using Japanese sites is tricky when you're not in Japan, especially like Yahoo Japan Auctions. You can't use that without like a proxy site because you need a Japanese phone number. I'm getting off topic. Yeah, I've done a lot of lurking. I haven't really like engaged with anyone on there, but I've done a lot of lurking for videos, like a lot of lurking. Very probably a local chocolate bar company that went under. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, but I don't know. How did you end up in Japan? Were you a jet? No, I almost was a jet, but life took me in a different direction. Nice boat. Oh gosh, that took me back to 2009. You're taking me back like 15 years without reference. I feel like the old lady in Titanic. It was 84 years ago. It's been 84 years. We did have Yahoo Answers in the US. I remember using it in like middle school for cringy like questions. We did. In Japan, though, no, I studied Japanese in college, and I went to Japan on and off, just to, like, visit and, like, study and stuff. Like, I didn't really, like, I was never a jet. I know people who became jets, and I was never a jet. I almost did, but my life took me in a different direction. Content creation took off, and I just didn't end up living there. But like, jet is probably the easiest way. Like, if I was to go there, I would have probably become a jet. Oh god, I'm old. Yeah, no, for real. I remember seeing meme videos where the boat would show up. Yeah, no, nice boat. I can give you guys the lore if you don't know. There are people, I can't believe this. There are people, who were born after Nice Boat. Or who were, like, so young they weren't even, like, they don't even remember the Nice Boat memes. But basically, are you guys familiar with the anime School Days? Well, School Days, if not, it's a really gory anime with protagonists that kind of suck. Um, and like the dude in that is like not a good person. And the end of the anime is very satisfying for that reason, but it's very violent. And because it was really violent, and because it also correlated to an axe murder at the same time that occurred, like there is an axe murder, like a girl like attacked her father. Because there was a thing like that happened right before the finale aired on TV, they're like, oh, we can't show this would be really tone deaf. So instead, they showed a bunch, like a video, like a bunch of B-roll of boats and like classical music over it instead of the School Days finale on Japanese television. And people were like, oh, what the heck is this? Where's my School Days? Where's the finale? And it's a meme now. It's a meme now. I think the creator of School Days, like the actual light novel, has actually like acknowledged it as well and named like their booth at Comiket 1 year Nice Boat. But yeah, no, people were really mad because they did not get to see the finale of this anime they've been watching like about like 25 episodes in, I believe at that point, 24, 25 episodes. And yeah, that it became a meme. It even became a meme like overseas on like 4chan, I believe. I didn't use 4chan back then. I was too busy being a preteen. But yeah, that's what Nice Boat is. Spoilers, it's only been 16 years. No, I didn't spoil anything. I don't say what happened. I said the guy is kind of an asshole, but that's like easily like inferred from like the early episodes. Chris Broad was a Jet, I think. I actually remember watching Abroad in Japan like way before he got super big, and yeah, he used to teach English, so I'm sure he was a Jet. I'm talking like years ago, like at least five plus years ago. Probably caused more anger by showing the boat than if they had just aired the episode. Yeah, but they didn't. It would have just been too similar to like current events, I guess. I don't know if they ever did air it after that or in the future, but yeah, I can understand why the network did that. But yeah. Cosmic Order 420. Hey, if it's not too personal, what condition do you have? I'm very public about this. I have POTS syndrome. It's a neurological disorder, a dysautonomic dysfunction. Well, it's dysfunction in my dysautonomic nervous system. And basically, like, you can read up on POTS online, but it's a illness where my nervous system, like all the things that are subconscious, like breathing, your heart rate, your digestive system working, like things that your body does, like movements they do that you do not directly control, it controls that. And basically, it sends incorrect signals to all those things and causes anything from fainting to ridiculously high heart rates. Like when I stand up, my heart rate spikes and I feel dizzy and my vision goes away. Like literally, sometimes it gets so bad, like my whole vision goes black. Headaches. My severe migraines are a constant. Sometimes I'll just wake up with a horrible migraine and I just can't get out of bed all day. I can't even look at anything with like light. I have to like sit in the darkness like a gremlin. Digestive stuff, a lot of like cramping and pain in like the intestines because like it's cramping when it's not supposed to be. A lot of muscle pain, a lot of nerve pain. Nerve pain's actually quite constant as well. There's a lot more. Like there's like you sweat randomly and you get hot randomly, even though like your body responds as though you're hot when you're not. My heart kind of pounds as though I've been like running. Imagine you just go in a full sprint and run across like a soccer field, and then your heart's pounding. It does that. It reacts that way as if I've just sprinted just from like sitting up in bed and getting up out of bed. So it takes me a while to get up out of bed. It sucks. It sucks, and I have found ways to live with it, and I have like doctors and medication I take, and I drink a lot of fluids, and I eat a lot of salt. Compression socks help. It sounds awful, but I have been dealing with I have been dealing with it literally since I was like 14. So this is nothing new. I genuinely, this sounds sad, but I don't mean it that way. I genuinely don't remember how it felt to be completely healthy and normal. I used to be in sports. I used to be on the track team and play tennis. And that one day that just quit. One day I woke up feeling like I had the flu, like I felt sick, and it just never went away. And doctors thought I was just lying. They like skip class, even though my mom would take me to the doctor's appointments and she was well aware of me not being in school. And it took a long time. I think I wasn't diagnosed until I was like 19 years old. And yeah, I'm just used to it. Long story short, I'm glad I have a reasoning for why I am this way, and I know my body well enough to know how to work with it, and you know, make things work until make things work when I can make them work. And I have a good routine, and like genuinely, like all that sounds awful, but I genuinely have a good routine and know my body well enough to like make life work and live a pretty good life despite all of that. So yeah. I genuinely, like, with that said, I love the VTuber because some days, like when I show up on camera in my main videos, those are days when I have a lot of energy to put on makeup and look nice, you know? So the VTuber's nice because I can just be gremlin mode and sit at my desk where I usually sit to work and just hang out and just, you know, be my cute little anime fairy. And it's all good. And I think it was like I started watching Iron Mouse and I realized like when I learned that she has like a chronic illness herself, like hers is much worse than mine, by the way. Like she has like genuine like horrible immune system issues that I do not have. Like she is much stronger than me. And I learned about her health struggles and like how the VTuber works for her and how she was able to like live her dreams despite having illness and fighting her illness and fighting against her body. And yeah, no, I thought that sounded really cool, and I love to stream, but streaming's hard for me sometimes. Like showing up on camera when I look like I was just like, when I look like roadkill, basically. It's nice. I like this, and I wanted a platform to get more involved in the lost media community again, because my main channel is more like Japanese stuff, like Japanese internet mysteries and web lore and cultural stuff now. So, like pop culture and stuff like that. So I wanted to get more involved in the lost media community and like be more like directly involved with you guys and talk about like what makes you happy in the lost media community and what's like cool like in the general lost media community. So this is also fun for that. Well, I'm glad to see you're with us. Seeing you post stuff always brightens my day. Thank you, Cosmic Order. That's very sweet of you to say. I also have a chronic autoimmune condition, so I understand. Yeah, it's rough, and it's hard for people to understand unless they actually have the struggle, because you can't just turn it off. And even if you look like you're okay, you can't. Sometimes you just still feel like shit, you know? And people just don't get that. Being able to work from your home is indeed an amazing thing in your case. No, for real. I used to work retail, bro. Like, bro, I used to work at GameStop. Like, jeez, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I have this. I'm so grateful to all of you. And I can talk about things I'm passionate about. I can talk about things like that make me happy and like I'm passionate about, and I get to share my knowledge with you all. I think it's great. A gremlin disguised as a fairy, no, for real. Like, I haven't even brushed my hair, dog. Like, and none of you can see that. Love Iron Mouse. No, me too. Iron Mouse seems like genuinely such a sweet person. And all the work she's done towards, like, the immune deficiency, towards, like, the people who, like, do research and help people with immune deficiency disorders like her. Like, it's so admirable. Like, she's, like, people with illness and disabilities can still be strong and still live their dreams out. And, like, she's proof of that, and I love that. Chronic illnesses are just the best, aren't they? I love my heart. Sarcastic, yeah, no. No, I'm happy to say my heart itself is healthy, but it's just the neurological signals to my heart that make it wonky. And that adds a lot of stress on the heart in itself, which is concerning, and I have to get, like, ultrasounds on my heart regularly. But yeah, I'm happy to say at least my heart is fine right now. But heart disease, like, I feel for you, Ashley, and I hope you're doing well. It's very obvious you spend a lot of time on 2chan. Your level of research in your vids is insanely good. There are no better creators in your field. You're the absolute best in my opinion. Thank you. Like, genuinely, I just saw things I liked Like back when I started doing lost media videos and these like Japanese internet videos, I saw things I liked. I tried to look up videos on them. I didn't see that anyone did videos on them, and I just was like, oh, I can just make this myself. I'll just make it myself. Been watching your videos for a while now, and your old city pop videos got me back into it. I used to listen to it nonstop back in high school. Happy to hear that. Thank you, excellent Boyolini. I used to listen to city pop like back in high school before it was even called city pop, and I'm not talking like maybe a couple years before it was actually called city pop and like Plastic Love popped off, and it was called 80s J-pop. And like back then, nobody even like listened to it or like knew what I was talking about. Like people in high school thought I was just weird and like weird music. So it's so cool that I can share my interests now, and other people online think they're cool. Like I just love that. Like whenever I make a music deep dive, like they don't tend to do well in the algorithm these days, unfortunately, which genuinely makes me really sad. But it makes me really happy when wrong button. It makes me really happy when people like share the same music taste, and I can like spark that light. I can kind of like light that little. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to get a good metaphor going here, but I'm not doing very well. Just like ignite a little flame in them to like become passionate about these things too, and see that they're cool, or like become interested in them again, as in your case. I love that you're keeping your channel true to its roots. I try. With the main channel, it's very apparent that people like a very certain thing. And I was trying to get into like the gaming lost media more so on that channel, but I think it kind of killed my videos in the algorithm, because not most people who were subscribed to me on main did not want the Nintendo stuff. So now I feel like I have to work my way back up in the algorithm. So I just really want a platform to talk about whatever I want, and the VTuber's great for that. Especially like lost media stuff and internet mysteries. We'll talk about internet mysteries too, like Celebrity Number 6 or like Agitas, like just weird shit like that. Don't mind that weird face she just made. I was drinking water and it blocked my face, so I guess she just decided to do that. Thanks for reading all my dumbest comments. Appreciate it, Night All. No worries, Rage Against My Hairline. I'm glad you were here. Thank you for joining us. By the way, I'm not sure how long I'll be on. Just, I guess, until I feel tired. The Nintendo Iceberg videos was how I discovered you. Oh, that's awesome, Pokrock. Like, I love making those videos, but it doesn't seem like my main subscriber base likes them at all. Because, like, after I made those videos, all my other videos just started dying in the fucking algorithm, so I moved them over to my gaming channel. Like, I'll still make them, but I gotta keep my livelihood going, unfortunately, so I can't make them, like, on the main channel. Rage Against My Hairline, no, for real. I like listening to the stories of 80s J-pop musicians, seeing that non-Japanese speakers can understand the history of music they like, but don't understand really good stuff. Thanks for making those videos. You're welcome, Eddie Bam. I really like those videos, and that's unfortunately another thing. Like, the last video I made, I think, was on Momoko Kikuchi, like, her, like, little segue into, like, making music with a band. That didn't do well at all, but the music slaps. The band's called Ramu, if you guys aren't familiar. That was the last, like, music deep dive video I did, and I'm so sad it didn't do well at all. It did not perform well at all, unfortunately. I also, but I am kind of delving into music with my next video. I'm doing a little deep dive. Well, not the video that's going live tonight. That's like the little Halloween video I got planned. But I'm making a video on Y2K tech and trends of Y2K Japan. I'm gonna go into music a little bit there. And I'm excited about that because I feel like if I make it a general Y2K Japan video, like a cultural deep dive, it'll do well. Hopefully. I'm really hoping, but I have high hopes for this video. And I can still talk about music stuff. Like, I'm gonna talk about Hikaru Utada. It's not city pop, of course. Of course, I'm not saying that's city pop. But, Hikaru Utada, Namie Amuro? Or Arumo, I forgot how her last name's spelled. Just stuff like that. I can talk about, like, cool music like that, and I'm excited to, like, share that with you all. I love your videos on X Japan. I love your video on X Japan. I watched it more than 10 times probably. Oh my god, Mihai, you're so sweet. That means so much to me. I've gotten the sweetest comments on that video that have made me want to like remake it and talk about the recent stuff that's happened with X Japan, because that video is already like 3 years old now. And I'm so happy because a lot of the comments I get on that video are like, I got into this music. One person said they got into X Japan and then went to a fan meetup in Japan after my video and like made a bunch of friends, and that just makes me so happy. Have you ever heard of the channel Aniki? Yes. That's the guy who makes the Japan in the 80s like timeline videos. I like those a lot. One of my friends, my friend Louis, sent me those, and I have been like hooked on them. Like I watch them as background noise. I'm trying to do like, I'm not trying to do something super similar with my Y2K video. It just covers the whole like era, like the before after, I guess. Like I go into the before a little bit, and then I go into the Y2K era, and then I go into like why Y2K started to have a decline, and like the emotions and attitudes of people in Japan at that time that reflect the styles, if that makes sense. The two Lost canceled Virtual Boy games were recently found they were baseball games. I saw that on the wiki recently. But yeah, I've heard of Aniki, and he has good stuff, and I hope he gets more attention on it, because it's really hard to find content like that. I think your first videos that hooked me was the Do Not Search Iceberg. Any plans on finishing it? Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I do. Like, I post a channel schedule regularly on my YouTube. I'm not sure if people are actually getting them, like, because I keep getting that question, but I have posted a like up next on Sakura Stardust graphic, and it is on there, and I do plan to like finish it up. I'm gonna do the final 2 layers together in one video. It's not gonna show much because, you know, everything in those final 2 layers are awful, but I'm trying to figure out a way to do it. I'm probably just gonna talk on camera for most of it, and I'll have to really vaguely describe things, so it won't be as like in-depth. I'll probably do a Patreon cut, but even that can't be like super awful, you know, because a lot of the stuff is horrible. So it is coming. I just have to figure out how to adapt it, and I think I have a good idea on how to adapt it, and I also just need the mental energy to tackle it, because it's so draining mentally. I did not think of how mentally draining this series would be, like, when I went into it in 2022. Like, if it was like just like silly stuff, the whole iceberg, like, I would probably, you know, have it finished by now, but it's just so mentally draining to like go through these awful incidents and this awful footage. Like, I can't do it alone also, so like I need help from other people to like help me like go through it, because it's just so mentally taxing. But it is coming, and if you go to my Sakura Stardust YouTube page and go to posts, my channel, my upload schedule's there for the YouTube videos, unrelated to the VTuber, just all the video documentary style videos, they are on the schedule there, so just head over there and you could see all that, everything I have planned. Follow Rainbot at all? I've seen a couple of her videos. Oh man, I was going to do a video on Fake Documentary Q, and she beat me to it, and that kind of deflated my like aspirations to make that video, because I didn't want to seem like I was like copying her. But I've been working on this video so long in the background, but my health just kept getting in the way, and I had other projects I was working on at the same time, so I wasn't able to do that. But maybe in the future I might make just like a full like a deep dive on like multiple mockumentaries, and we can do it then. But yeah, no, I don't want to seem like I'm copying anyone. I always want to be as original as I can with my content, so that kind of sucked. But yeah, no, I do know of Rainbot. Her videos are cool. Sorry, I'm trying to drink water again. I've sampled a quote or 2 of yours in a beat I made. Oh, that's cool. I gotta get back into watching your other videos. I've been busy with other things, like my younger cousin losing her cat and feeling stumped on my sewing on what to make. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you find her cat. I've lost cats too in the past, and it's such an awful feeling just waiting for them to come home. I genuinely hope you guys find the cat. Yeah, but no worries. Like, I think about this too. I try to think about like how my videos appear to the perspective of like just the casual watcher, not like, you know, just the like bulk of my audience. And like I think about like people I follow, and watch regularly, and like I do have periods where I can't just watch YouTube regularly, so I feel that and I understand that. So like oh, I'm sorry, Excellent, I'm so sorry to hear that. I just you know, people go through things in life, so like it's fine when people don't have time to watch your content. It doesn't really mean anything against you, and I understand that. So, you know, whenever you're ready to watch content that you want to watch, and I'm happy that you want to watch my content, you know, whenever is fine. That looks so weird. I'm drinking water. But we should get started in some Lost Media topics. I have some saved, and people suggested them weeks ago before my debut, and I feel so bad that I haven't been able to get into them just yet. So, let's do that now. Water is the GOAT. I need so much water, like genuinely, with my health stuff, and you know, it's yeah. Let's get into it. Let me check YouTube real quick. Yeah, for some reason the posts really show up on the subscriptions card. YouTube just loves to be wonky, like attacking random videos with AI dubbing. Yeah, you can turn off the AI dubbing. I put that on because I noticed a lot of people watch me from other countries, and I thought that might be helpful, but you can turn it off. If it just pops up randomly on your feed or on your videos, on your YouTube interface, you can turn it off, like I've looked into it, so. Hold on, how can we suggest topics? I'll show you guys. I haven't done a new post. I keep saying I'm gonna do a new post for like asking for suggestions. I don't want to do that until I go through the people who've already suggested stuff. I don't think that's fair to them, so once I am. But to show you, well, yeah, let me go to, there we are. Oh, the window's not capturing, give me 1 minute. I am in the void. Not sure if it's Lost Media, but the bendable Sonic and Shadow figures were made. There was one picture of a Sonic, but it was yellow with red eyes. Oh, the Super Sonic. That's more up LSSQ's alley, El Supersonic Q. He makes some really good videos about, like, niche Lost merch like that. I love your content, but I recently got diagnosed with a heart issue that will require surgery and is giving me panic attacks, so my focus has become very chill videos. So I'm one of those people who will likely be cherry picking through your future content till it's all over and done with. I'm so sorry, Lucha Libro. I'm so sorry. I understand the anxiety of having to get medical stuff done. Just know that it'll be over with soon, and like it's all very, there's probably a lot of pressure you're feeling right now. Just waiting for that surgery to happen. I know, like, the scheduling and just waiting for it to happen itself, it just takes a while. Genuinely, like, my best advice, like, if you're asking for advice, I know you're not, I wish you the best of luck, but the best thing to do is just know that, like, this will pass eventually. Eventually, it will be a time in the past where you can look back on it and just not worry about it. It feels like forever now, but once it's over, like, you could truly just move on from it, I hope, and I'm wishing you nothing but the best with your health. I understand that feeling, it sucks, but, you know, just know that, like, brighter days are ahead. Just tossing myself as an example of the sort of viewer who might skip your work for a bit, and thank you, that means a lot. You're welcome, you're welcome. I'm trying to sound encouraging, but I genuinely know how awful that feels, and just know, like, the stress before the medical procedure is often far, far worse than the procedure itself. Like, I will work myself up and have panic attacks over, like, getting blood work done. Like, just stuff like that. So, you know, just be strong. I believe in you, and I can't wait for you to, like, you know, let me know that it's all over and done with and you're doing much better. But yeah, I also understand that too. You know, people have a lot of things going on in their life. Everyone's life is vastly different looking, and I'm sure it's much different looking from mine, just like sitting here making content all day, you know. And everyone has a different experience, and everyone has different priorities, and, you know, when they're ready, the content's here. I hope things get better. Yeah, no, absolutely, I hope things get better for you. Just take it a day at a time. Things will get better. Let me see. Let me get this Lost Media. Let me show you how to suggest Lost Media before I get off topic again. Media source. Is the music? Yeah, the music's still going. If we watch a video, I'll turn it off. I'm just making sure I see if it's on or off right now. I need to get blood work. My estrogen is dropping. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hormonal issues suck. I know that too. Another thing I have personally, I don't know if it applies to what you're going through personally, but I have endometriosis, and that also, like, I had to get poked and prodded a lot when I first got diagnosed with that. But blood work in general, even if it's just a checkup or just checking your levels, like, it is quite unpleasant, and I Godspeed to all of you. All of you are very brave. I'm weird that the scary stuff and horrifying media calms me. I guess it's knowing that it could get worse. I'm blessed with what I have. Yeah, I can understand that, and I've heard a lot of people say that before. I talked about Gunbeat, Glitter Gunbeat, Magical Hearts, the Gunbeat. If you would like to look into it, from what I remember, there's an LMW article, but there's an Unseen 64 Wikipedia article you can look into. Okay, yeah. I'm going to, I don't want to, like, leave, the people who, I don't want to leave everyone who's already suggested things hanging, because I do have some topics up. But first, I'm going to show you guys how to suggest things. And, like, I am going to make a new post, but let me show you guys real quick. There we go, yay! Not in the LMW, that was just a test. But well, that's not how you spell YouTube. So you go to Sokka to start VTuber. This is just one method, by the way. You can go on Twitter. You can also go on Instagram. I will post my updates here. See, there's my stream on YouTube, that is. And you go to posts, and I'm gonna make a new one, but you know, I will show you what it will typically look like. So it'll look like this. Tell me about your favorite lost media, and then just tell me your suggestions. I'll make another post with the same image. I'm gonna try and animate it when I have time too, so she's like taking notes. And that's how you do it. And they'll be also on Twitter, and it'll also be on Instagram. So if you follow Sokka to Star VTuber on any of those platforms, that's where it'll be. Oh, and I also got merch coming. If you haven't seen, I have stickers and keychains coming very soon. So that too. The browser, genuinely, AI dubbing is so crappy, sorry to unsubscribe everybody that uses because browser doesn't let me turn it off, really. I tried it myself and I was able to turn it off, and then, like, other people were saying I could, like, when I, before I didn't know, but, like, I'll look into that. Like, if people are really that bothered by it, I'll just go ahead and try and turn it off. Because it does give you the option, at least right now. I don't know if it'll force it eventually, but I will turn it off if people hate it, like if people really are adverse to it, and it doesn't and if it doesn't help and doesn't, like, actually give you, like, actual, like, good dubs, like, and it probably doesn't if it's not a person translating it, of course, like, it's just auto dubbing, then yeah. What just happened to fire? There we go. All right. Thank you, Jeremiah. And thank you for joining us. Plush win? When I have the money to make a plush. Or if I can work with someone who can have a plush made. But I hope someday that's a thing that can be done. Oh, while I'm here, I guess, yeah, I'll show you guys this, because I don't think anyone's seeing this, which is, you know, very cool, YouTube. So yeah, if you go to my posts on main, yeah, here's main, go to posts. So this video is coming out later tonight, but if you go to posts and scroll down, I post these up next video schedule. And these are like, once I finish a video, I will go to the next one and I will just update the list. So these are the next upcoming videos I'll make. This is unrelated to the VTuber. This is just my main channel content, like how it's always been. And yeah, these are the upcoming videos. So as you can see, the Do Not Search Iceberg is on the list. I don't know how many people are actually seeing it because it only has 300 likes. I'm assuming not very many people are getting it. So, you know, that's my schedule. But yeah, no, you're welcome, Ashley. I'll look into, like, turning those off later. I got a lot to do once I go offline, but yeah, I'll go in there and figure it out. But yeah, that's the schedule. So, you know. But yeah, let's talk about some Lost Media, gang. Let's get into it. I'm gonna put the Lost Media wiki up. I don't know why that oh, because I pressed caps lock, of course. Of course. And there we go. So, before we start, I'm gonna go through the requests over here in my little room. I got them up. Yeah, sometimes the algorithm's a pain. I genuinely don't know what the algorithm wants anymore. It's always changing. Posting on YouTube 10 years ago was very different. Posting on YouTube 5 years ago was very different. And now I don't know. I don't even know anymore. But I'm still going. I'm still uploading. I upload fairly regularly. If you haven't seen an upload from me in a while, there's new uploads. I still do them regularly. I hope people see them again eventually. Rabbids Invasion got found. I used to play that a lot on Facebook. Can't wait for the Flashpoint community to make it playable. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I never played that, but I did play Farmville. And, you know. Yeah, I played a lot of Farmville. That's about it. But okay, yeah. First topic. Oh, and there's also a video I want to watch with you guys. A really cool Lost Media video I found with a really niche piece of Lost Media. Sorry. My brain. But here, these are the Lost Media suggestions I get. So I'm going to start with this because there's genuinely nothing I can pull up with this. So these are more like tip of my tongue type suggestions by this Enchatics. I did look into these and I couldn't find anything, but they do want some more spotlight on these specific Lost Media topics, so I thought, hey, why not? I'll do it over here, and we can, you know, maybe somebody has heard of this stuff. So I'm gonna read the posts, but there's not really anything we can look up together as a group here. So, this is the second one. Hang on, let me get the first one. I do have the first one, hang on. Alright. I have a couple of pieces of Lost Media that I've been wanting to see for a long time. The first is of a game on the DirecTV service way back in like 2004, and yes, they had games on there back then. It was an NES-style 8-bit train game where you had to place tracks while the train was going, and a lot of them had shapes which you could rotate in place. You had to get the train to the end without derailing if a piece did not line up on the track. If you failed, you had to restart the level, and there was a lot of levels from what I can remember. But, okay, yeah, I couldn't find anything on this, but this makes sense. That makes complete sense for, like, this to not be online anywhere. And I remember having Dish Network as a kid, and there'd be, like, these weird little games, like Solitaire and stuff. And I really doubt those are archived. I genuinely really doubt these are archived. But yeah, no, they were just these shitty little, like, games. Like, they weren't really, I don't want to say shitty. They were just very primitive. Primitive is a better word. And Yeah, it's a DirecTV game about trains, apparently. And I couldn't find anything on it myself, but I decided, like, okay, I'll at least read the post, and if anyone's remembering this and, like, knows what it's called or something, maybe it'll help to search it all, even just a little bit. And yeah, it's a DirecTV game about trains. You put the trains on the track to keep the train going. And I remember those games. I used to play them at my cousin's house. They seemed so cool back then just because they were free TV games. No, for real. I remember those too, and you had to play on those big clunky silver remotes. And you had to, there was like a bit of, there was a delay when you pushed the buttons because you were playing a game on your TV remote. They were, they were something, but I do remember these, and I didn't really play a lot of it, because of course, like, you could just play them, like, at least with me, I played them for a minute when my parents first got, like, the cable box, or the dish box, and then I would just go back to playing GameCube or whatever, but I do remember this being a thing. I remember playing a game on cable like that, but it was a platformer with a rabbit. Yeah, no, I don't even know. Hey, they weren't shitty, at least they're not Tiger handheld games. Bro, I love the Tiger handheld games. I love those, and like, they're not really shitty, they're just really primitive because it's really difficult to play a game on a TV remote, you know? Like if the game had a controller, I'm sure it'd be like a lot more intuitive and fun. But I just remember these games just having a lot of lag. Which is fine, but, you know, going back to the point, though, if you wanted to recover these games, you would probably need those old Dish Network boxes from years and years and years ago. And I don't know how realistic it is to recover this type of lost media. I'm sure they're somewhere, but, you know. Found an online game for the NES called Train. Train. Not sure if it is it or not. We can try. It was on a DirecTV box, so I'm assuming this was, like, mid-2000s or 2010s. I never played games from TV service because I feared they charged my parents and I'd get in trouble. No, you know, they might, some of them might have. I remember, do you remember those, like, I had a flip phone and they had, like, you could buy ringtones and wallpapers off of, like, the store on there. And I didn't know they were free when I first got my first phone when I was, like, 12. And I accidentally, like, spent it, like, $20 and my mom got mad at me, but I didn't know. It didn't really make it clear. The Crazy Frog Rabbit Hole. Let me see. Train NES. I'll pull it up on screen, and maybe if OP sees this, they can kind of let us know if that's what they're looking for. But I have no idea. Alright. Train. You know, maybe? This doesn't look like something that was actually on NES, if that makes sense. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Is it coming up? Let me make sure. Let me check OBS. What the heck? Hang on. I don't know why the window's not coming up. Why is it still on the wiki? Did it freeze? Oh my gosh. I thought we were doing so good too. Oh, it opened a new window. Okay. It opened a new window. Hang on. I don't know why it did that. But if this is what OP is looking for, I mean, it does match the description somewhat. Hang on. I don't know why I did that. Sorry about that, guys. This is what I was looking at. Let me see if it's on OBS. Yep. Alright, yeah, so this might be it. You can see it's NES, but the gameplay doesn't seem to match. Simple score chasing as long as you can game. Choose from 3 different types of train. Each train has its own style of music. Survive, avoid colliding with other objects. It kind of looks like it's maybe the Microsoft Dinosaur type game where you just jump over stuff. It's like you're just going. But yeah, I don't know. It might be that. If OP sees this, let me know if this rings any bells. It is NES style. Yeah, Crazy Frog. Yeah, Jeremiah, you're absolutely right about that. Just going through chat right now. Give me a moment. I don't know if OP's here, by the way. I'm just, it's just something I got. I believe this one came from Instagram. But here it is. Their name, let's go back to, their name is Nshaddix. So if Nshaddix is here, or if they are here in the future, yeah, I couldn't find anything. But maybe somebody else will know, and we did find that, like, little game online. Somebody did. Who was it? Who is it? Let me try to credit them. I can't find it. I can't find it. But yeah, no, shout out to the person who suggested Train. It looks like it would fit the bill, but I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, I can't search the chat for some reason. Dang it. But yeah, no, thank you for suggesting that. Maybe it is what they're looking for. So the next thing they wanted to talk about was... Why is it so big now? What the heck? Maybe a minute. I don't know. What the heck? It was completely normal size a second ago. Come on, OBS. Okay. Let me move myself over a little bit too. Alright, so the next one was a video from circa 2005, which was a video that showed a city street in what looked like New York, and the weather was foggy. The camera would rapidly cut to various shots, and there was some of crows at one point. But the music that played was genres of either trip-hop or IDM that I remember the tones to. That video was stuck in my head for many years, and I have no idea where to even begin finding it, much like with the previous Lost Media, the train game. I'm eager to watch your stream reading this stuff out. I've been wanting to send these to, like, LSSQ, but I think this is a much better opportunity. If anyone remembers either of those things, please let me know. I'd love to see what you guys remember. So yeah, I can't, like, there's nothing I can show on screen, but maybe you guys will, like, that sounds very broad, like, in my opinion. Like, that sounds incredibly broad. And, why is she not moving? What the heck? Okay, that sounds incredibly broad, and, like, that could describe a lot of things, so I don't know. But if you guys know maybe something similar to that, it might help. Could it be some clip from the movie The Crow? I don't know. It said 2005. I don't think The Crow... Is there trip hop in The Crow? Oh, maybe it's like an AMV from that movie? Maybe. About Gaykept Lost Media, I remember an Anon talking about a forum site where users can upload and privately store doujin and share. Fucking course, these works were Edo, Guro, and Gore. Anon said one time the site broke and everything private went public. He saw works were lost for over 10 to 20 years. Scans of works people thought were just a myth. He was in heaven until the admins fixed the website a few years later. That sounds kind of familiar. Is that, like, in relation to Saki Sonobashi? I feel like I've read that somewhere before. But yeah, as far as Edokuro and Guro stuff, like, that's kind of pushing it as far as, like, subject matter we can talk about, you know? But yeah, if anyone knows about any of these, they're very broad. But maybe we'll get some comments later, too. And Shaddix, again, is the one who suggested that. But next, let's talk about some stuff I can actually, like, find. So this one... Here's another one from Marky Gee 55. And their suggestion, my most wanted piece of lost media, the lost English dub of Bit the Cupid, and in extension, the partially lost Japanese dub for the show, as well, which only some episodes have been found on VHS. So this is a really weird piece of lost media that I'm somewhat familiar with. And, going back to trains here, just for a second. I'm pretty familiar because I made a video on lost dubs a few years back discussing this. From what I'm hearing right now, it doesn't seem like much progress has been made since I made that video, like back in 2021, so that's too bad. But this, like, lost dubs can either be super interesting or really not have much going on with them, just that they're lost and they're an English dub, but this one's pretty interesting. It's very odd looking as far as animation style goes. And let me move myself out of the way. Here we go. I think it could be found from more VHS recordings. Not sure what you're referring to, but I think that could apply to either one of the things we're talking about right now. So, this one. This anime looks so weird, dude. Like... Okay, but first and foremost, it's an anime from 1998. And, I guess let's start from the top. Let's read the article. I'm just wetting my mouth. Give me a minute. Alright. Bit the Cupid is a Japanese anime series produced by Group TAC, or Group TAC, featuring character designs by Susumu Matsushita. And Susumu Matsushita, if you're familiar with Koroko magazine, he drew the mascot for that. The magazine that has all the Pokemon leaks a lot of the time, like all the Pokemon news, the Korokoro leaks. If you're in the Pokemon community, you may have heard that term, and you may have seen that little mascot guy. He drew the mascot for that, and that's the only thing I know this person for aside from this. Alright. And character designs by Susumu Matsushita and CG Animation. It was the first anime to exploit a digital pipeline and lay down key foundations future anime productions would later make use of. The show ran for 48 13-minute episodes on TV Tokyo between 1995 and March of 1996. The show would later be dubbed in various countries in the late 90s, eventually receiving an English dub, and this English dub was supposed to air on Fox Kids. The show quickly fell to obscurity. Several home video releases were made, however, all of them sold poorly. And this was in Japan, not in America. The show's aforementioned obscurity, and I think China too, if I recall. The show's aforementioned obscurity meant that although all tapes were easily purchasable, they were priced as low as 100 yen, which is like $1, if that, less than $1 nowadays, with nobody buying them. A small search and digitization effort was done in August of 2022, but slow to a crawl due to the rarity of the tapes currently. Periods are nice. Due to the rarity of the tapes, sorry. Currently, as of August of 2024, 31 out of the show's 48 episodes have been found. Okay, I didn't know that. That's actually cool. I was unaware that they found so many episodes, because last time I looked into this, last time on Dragon Ball Z, like back in 2021, there was only like 1 or 2 episodes found, so that's great news. If I could clap, I would clap. You can at least hear it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, the English dub is kind of an obscurity, then we'll get there. I don't even know if it even aired. Like, there's proof that it probably aired, or maybe aired at least once, but there's no proof of that, at least from what I can find. Let me check chat real quick. Oh wow, that's an odd style for a Japanese animation. It looks more like a Western thing. It does. It looks very interesting, and we'll take a look at a clip from it in a second. I am going to mute the audio when I do that, of course, the background music. But yeah, let's get back to reading it, and then we can get into seeing. It's a very unusual looking anime. Like, it does not look like anime at first glance. It kind of looks like the art style on old greeting cards, if that makes sense. Anyways. Previously, the only footage that remained of the original Japanese audio of the series prior to 2022 was the show's opening, which was uploaded back on YouTube in 2008, and a rip from a CD single of the show's second ending theme, Blueberry Passion. On June 18th, 2022, YouTuber Lee's Video Store of Obscurities would upload episodes 1 through 8 of the series. That came from a VHS rental tape, where it would subsequently be digitized and uploaded to their YouTube channel. 2 days later, on June 21st, 2022, they would upload episodes 12 through 19 of the series on their YouTube channel. 2 months later, on September 24th, the latter user would upload episodes 9 through 12 and 38 through 41 on their YouTube channel. A year later, on October 5th, 2023, Lee would upload episodes 42 through 48 on their YouTube channel. This leaves episodes 20 through 37 currently missing. Yeah, I think that's when I kind of was in the search, like when they initially found episodes 1 through 8. That sounds about right. And then I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, it was shortly after. Like, when I made the video in 2021, none of this was found. Like, there was nothing on this. So, and then somebody told me, like, shortly after the video was made, that they found the first 8 episodes. I was like, oh, that's awesome. But it's cool to see they found a lot more, like, following that. I wonder how. I genuinely wonder how they found those, how they came into, like, contact with those. Like, I will look into that in a second, but yeah, there was a Chinese release. Bit the Cupid will be released on VCD in Chinese-speaking regions with differing titles. It's believed the entire series was published on the VCD, but only 15 episodes. By the way, VCD is a very obscure media format. I'm thinking of VHD, but this is also, like, you see VHDs in, like, China and, I think Malaysia. They're, like, these, like, CD type, video formats. They're not quite DVDs. Anyways. But only 15 episodes have been known to be released in that format, evidenced by a listing of all VCDs. These would later be ripped by a user to Yoku.com. Several custom PSAs in Chinese were included in the batch. A rip of episode 28 is believed to have come from a VCD, but it was appended by the uploader with a copy of the Japanese ending. These went unnoticed until 2021, when it would be re-uploaded to YouTube by Mel's Re-Upload Hole with an added description. That's a hilarious title for a channel. On January 13th, 1998, the Fox Family Channel, and then here we get into English dub, which is very interesting in my opinion. Like, it's so weird and cryptic. On January 13th, 1998, the Fox Family Channel announced their inaugural lineup of television shows. This included the English dub version of Bit the Cupid, set to air in the morning hours. Produced by Saban Entertainment, the dub was directed by Mark Handler and featured Richard Epcar, Tony McDougall, and Jerry Gelb, Frank Catalano, and Lex Lang. When R. Martin Klein was interviewed in 2022 regarding his voice acting career, he briefly went over the dub and its subdued release. There was Bit the Cupid, which never went anywhere, but I did every episode. We did the entire series, and somehow it was on briefly, but it disappeared. So, okay, this is also new info. So this VA, well, after, like, I made my video on it, this VA apparently, like, said they did record every episode, and it did air briefly, so that's interesting. There were no home video releases of the dub, with the only available footage coming from a 1998 Fox Family Upfront promo. So yeah, let's go down to that promo. I think it's timestamped. It's like in the middle of it. Yeah, so, okay. So this was like to promote their upcoming media. And like stuff that was gonna be like showing. Yeah, so Jeremiah, from what I understand, they probably only aired like, I don't even know how long it was on air. I just know that it was on air briefly, so I'm assuming it aired like in the really early mornings like a couple times, and that's why there's no like actual recording of it, but I don't know. But it's interesting. I have an old DVD copy of the first season of Gregory Horror Show, and they were originally made by Pioneer. The 3 DVDs are difficult to find. Interesting, excellent. I have never heard of that show, but that sounds like some pretty rare media. Maybe it aired in another country like Albert and Sydney. Paprika Mater, that's actually an interesting thought. It might have done that. We just need to go ask people in like Barbados or other places like that, because Barbados is where Albert and Sydney aired. Yeah, excellent. If you could upload them, that would probably, like, if they're considered lost, that would be huge for media preservation. And there's inexpensive ways to, like, rip these things. So, you know, if you could do that. But let's see. Let's get back into this. So yeah, it's a very weird looking anime. And let me know if you can hear the audio. Let me double check if it's on. We had some issues last stream, so I want to be sure. Alright. The quality's ass, by the way, of this, but it's like a VHS rip, so I can't really do anything about that. But
with heaven's hardest working Cupid.
I'm bit and I'm supposed to spread love around, so let's get this show on the road.
He's out to win your heart with yet another Fox Family first run, Bit the Cupid. And he's the host of the National Fox Kids.
That's it. That's the only confirmation that we have that this aired on Fox Kids, and it's a really weird looking anime. As you can see, it doesn't really look like an anime. The premise is so odd. Let me know if you heard that. Let me double check. Maybe it didn't do well test audiences. I could understand that, absolutely. Yep, that's an anime dub. No, for real. That like shonen protagonist ass voice. There's a rumor saying it was dubbed in English but never released. That would have been said by dub actors in an interview. I have no real source, so yeah, I don't know. Like, according to this interview I just read, like, they did record every episode, but I don't know if anything became of that. I'm sure they were finished enough to be aired, but they just never aired them, and that's a very common thing to happen in TV, like, especially, like, sitcoms, or, like, they're, like, shows, like, just didn't do well, so they just, okay, let's just not air it or release it, like, whatever, let's just move on, and they just don't, like, release it in any caliber. Like, that's actually very common with TV. It's very strange, and it's a very weird-looking anime, like I keep saying that, but, like, if we could find some of the other episodes... But yeah, no, it looks like they put a lot of effort into finding these. Let's go to this uploader. Lee's Video Store of Obscurities. Oh, okay, I guess it's not up anymore. Oh, that's great. Let me try again. Okay, I'm gonna just go to YouTube. That's not a good sign. Hopefully Internet Archive has them. Alright, this looks like their channel. Yep, there it is. Alright. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, of course, but... That's a little loud. Let me know if that's too loud.
It's a long time ago. Yeah, it's not too long ago. We've been walking on this road.
Interesting choice of opening. I'll say that too. A bit too loud. Okay. Let me know if that's good.
We've been searching for our goal. For many days and nights I remember. And many cries and laughs we shared. We've been walking on this road. Since we have found our goal.
Yeah, so I don't know what they were thinking with this opening, and I can see why it wouldn't do well in American audiences, because this doesn't look like something like Western kids would enjoy. It's not as action-based as they would want, you know?
The goal of love.
So yeah, that's you can see like the 3D and like the buildings and the architecture and stuff, which is so interesting for something from the late 90s that utilized that much 3D. It looks vaguely like a 3D Hanna-Barbera cartoon. It kind of does, yeah. It doesn't look, it looks very Western inspired. Japan made a cartoon before Panty and Stocking. No, like genuinely. It looks like a Christian cartoon. It kind of does. It kind of does. Yeah, and yeah, the opening songs, I kind of like the opening song, but it's not something a Western kid would enjoy. Yeah, no, I don't, they probably, with any anime they, like, redubbed, like, for Western audiences, I'm sure they changed the opening, too. But, yeah, no, I don't, it's kind of doesn't fit. Like, as a song, it's fine, but it does not fit whatever's going on here. It doesn't feel like it's in sync with the opening, either. It's like one of those late night kids network blockings that were where you skim over when scrolling the channels. No, for real. It does feel like some weird like fever dream thing you'd see as a kid. Does the Japanese opening have a similar sound? This is the Japanese opening. Like that's it. We have no idea what the English opening even looks like. Like no clue. Yeah, it's very jarring. Like it looks like it looks like an AMV kind of like you put different music over something. I hope I'm not content ID. I hope I don't get a copyright claim from showing that either. I don't even know, like, because it's so obscure if the music will even be claimed. But you can see, like, 3D in here, too. And the Japanese voice is so different from the English one, too. It's so odd. It's so odd. Like... It does not look like anime. And the art style in itself, like that like shading style and the way it's like rendered, like the way the characters are rendered, it just does not look like... It just doesn't look... It looks very unusual.
おいしそうだろいい俺たちの頼みを聞いてくれたらこの100倍もでっかいのをあげるんだが本当かみだったら何でもやるみオリンポスにはアルテミスという女神がいるだろう俺たちは彼女の大ファンでねこれでこっそり写真を撮ってほしいんだなんだ簡単だみさすがはキューピッドだやってくれればおいあいつがもうやるって言ってるのにおい
Yeah, there's the obvious 3D.
今日の料理番はアルテミスだったなおおなんだできているのかこりゃうまそうだいただきます。やらいこんな辛いシチューがあるか
何すごいまあニンニクと唐辛子が丸ごと入ってる
俺を殺す気か誰が作った
Rose dying, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how they would have dubbed it. Like I would love to see what they would have done to make it like Americanized. Even the Japanese voices sound like a dub. Yeah, they're very exaggerated. The lip sync is off. Yeah, everything about it is just so odd. You would at least imagine the lip sync to be on point with like the Japanese audio, right? all that aside, like, I'm just genuinely so curious about how the English dub would have looked and what they would have done to, like, try, because especially in the, like, 90s, like, how they would try and Americanize anime in the 90s, like, oh my gosh. If this is ever found in English, I'll do a watch party, because it's genuinely so interesting to me. Like, anime dubs can, like, a lot of the time there's not much to them, they're just a dub and it's lost. But with, like, stuff like this, it's like there's so much mystery to it. Like, it was so poorly received that even, like, in Japan it was lost. Like, none of it, like, it got dubs, but, like, it was just so hard to find for so long. It looks great, but it feels like cutscenes from a Saturn game. It does kind of have that, it has that, like, weird aesthetic, yeah. The 3D for its time, by the way, like, looks really good. Like, for that era, like, the 3D looks good. It just doesn't fit well with, like, the characters and what's going on here and, like, the anime itself. But, like, doing a completely 3D anime would probably look very odd, especially at this point in time. Like, it would look like, what's that show? There's a 3D show and it looked very awkward. I forgot what it was called. I played it. It's somewhat popular. I just forgot its name. I think Fox dropped it because of the Greek mythology, not Christian. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, because, like, there's movies, like, if people were that, like, because there is, like, a lot of sensitivity regarding, like, Christian imagery in the West, and, like, satanic imagery and stuff like that. But if that was the case, I feel like movies like Hercules, like Disney's Hercules, would be, like, censored in some way, you know? I don't think the Greek mythology in it is, like, an issue. Maybe I just think it was really poorly received, but that partially could have been due to them just playing it really early in the morning and no kids were up, or, like, you know. Transformers Beast Wars, there was a handful of odd-looking early CG shows. Not that. It was called something else. There's, like, a green lady, I think. I never watched it. It was a little before my time. God, what was it called? Let me try and Google it. Gosh, hang on. God, it was like a hack or something, or hang on. Wow, I just early CG facial animation 1974. Okay, before I go down that route, reboot. This is it. Like, if they did, the show's from 1994, like well before my time. But if they did like a completely 3D show at this point in time, I have a feeling it would look like this at best. At best, and like, it's clearly like it's very impressive for its time, but it clearly,
My format, Guardian,
is dated.
to mend and defend. To defend my newfound friends, their hopes and dreams. To defend them from their enemies. They say the user lives outside the net and inputs games for pleasure. No one knows for sure.
Yeah, like that, like very stiff. Very stiff. Like, that's very articulated for this point in time, but my goodness. Gives CDI vibes, it does kinda, yeah. Bit the Cupid kinda gives off, like, weird CDI educational vibes, too. Like, if you guys know what I mean, it just feels like it's in its own weird category.
But I intend to find out. Reboot!
Yeah, like this. This is clearly very impressive for its time. For 1994, going from, like, the first Tron movie in the 80s to this, like, it's very impressive, but not everything is gonna look like this. So I think, like, at its best, if it was a completely 3D show in 1998, it probably would have ended up looking a bit like Reboot. The crazy history of Reboot. Like, CG in its early, like, let's take a look at this. I'm sure this is horrifying. If it loads. You know, it's probably because I'm blocking ads, so it takes a little while to load, so sorry about that, guys. I just didn't want... Oh! Oh! Ooh! 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 Oh! Oh! Ah! Oh, I don't like that. Well, well, that was something. That was, worse than I thought. Still impressive. Hang on, I'm trying to unemote. I think I unemoted. Let me check OBS. No, I didn't. I'm stunned again. But genuinely, like, what the fuck? We've come such a long way. But, like, oh my gosh. Hang on, I'm actually gonna save that, because this would make excellent B-roll for a video at some point. Oh wait, I can't, I'm not logged in here. Oh well. Oh well. These were used in an old ARG years back. That makes sense. I believe it. I believe it. It, that was something. We've come a long way, and that's genuinely very impressive. That's genuinely so impressive, but oh my gosh, like, that's so uncanny and bizarre nowadays. Like, even looking at my little, like, mocap face, like, on my phone as I talk, like, it feels like the final evolution of that. It's very smooth. Not my model, but, like, when I go on the mocap app on my phone for the facial recognition, it shows, like, a face kind of similar to this, but a lot more higher quality and more fluid and smooth. So, we've come a long way. We've come a long way, and that was something. Anyways, let's go to the next last media topic. I'll probably stay on probably till like another hour at the latest. Just going by how I feel today. I'm not really going by a schedule. I might be more like loosey-goosey with my schedule as we go forward, because my health kind of causes things. And I notice Iron Mouse, the queen herself, like, she just goes on whenever she can. Like, she has no schedule, she just goes on when she feels better and can do that. So I'll probably start doing that moving forward if a schedule becomes problematic. So, you know. But I'll at least have, like, a weekend stream to try and get as most people as I can. Yeah, 1974, isn't that crazy? Like, that's wild for 1974. Do the Daisy Bell CG music video? Oh, that sounds interesting. I'll look at it, Jeremiah. Give me 1 second. I love early CG. I love how uncanny it is. I love how awkward it is. Oh, look, Knowledge Husk is there. One of my parents was born then. Wow. Wow. My parents were born in the 60s. Cool-ass freaky old CGI. Yeah, no, for real. The Winx reboot Hair to Tail is really good, but I wish it had stylized like Winx films from the 2000s. You know, yeah, Skylar Rainbow, like, I have always wanted to get into Winx. I wasn't... the Winx Club, like, the Fox cartoon, the dub, because I know it's French. That was a big deal when I was a kid, but I was not a girly girl. I was very tomboyish, and I did not like girly things, so I never really got into it or watched it. I watched Code Lyoko, like, as far as French cartoons go, but I never watched Winx Club. But I've always wanted to, like, get into it. I just don't know where to start, because I know there's so much lore. They're still making Winx Club. It's Italian? Oh, okay. Sorry, everyone. I confused it with, I believe Code Lyoko's French, right? Yeah, Code Lyoko, I believe, was French. Let's double check that. Do not quote me on any of this. I'm just a streamer sitting in my room, y'all. I'm sorry. But I know, yeah, Code Lyoko, I'm pretty sure, was French. Code Lyoko. Yeah, France 3, that looks like French. Hang on. Yeah, French anime-influenced anime series. So, yeah, Code Lyoko's French, Winx Club is Italian. My bad, I thought they were both French. Also, Miraculous Ladybug's French, so I just thought there was just some kind of, like, big animation scene in France, I guess, is what my brain deduced there. I think I saw a few episodes when I was younger. Yeah, Code Lyoko was fun in the, like, I used to watch it on Magoozy. Does anyone remember this? We're going on a tangent, but it's media related. It's all good. It's all good. Trying to find my, there we go. If anyone remembers this, like, I used to watch Code Lyoko back in the day on this. It was called Magoozy. Talking about early CG, like this is like 2003 CG, I believe, 2005. I believe it started coming on in 2003 though. Wait, 2004. Okay. Well.
What's up? You guys ready for the big show? Let's get it started.
So yeah, like Magoozy was like a TV block, and it just showed like cartoons and shit on Cartoon Network back in the early to mid 2000s. And I remember watching it a lot, and that's where I watched Code Lyoko. Code Lyoko used to be on this in America, and yeah, what was my, oh yeah, Winx Club. Yeah, no, if anyone remembers that, like, that's how I watched it, and that was another example of, like, CG stuff, like, early on, before it was, like, super, super commonplace, like, nowadays. Like, the 2010s onward, it was definitely more frequently used, but back in the, like, 2000s, and especially the 90s, it was definitely more experimental, you know? Yeah, I was already too old for Code Lyoko, but I believe it was big in France. Yeah, I heard it was pretty big in France. And my point, oh yeah, my other point, Code Lyoko is not, in my opinion, like, I watched it again on Netflix years later, because I was like, oh, Code Lyoko, I used to love the show. It didn't age super well. Like, if you watch it again as an adult, it's not as, like, exciting and, like, immersive as, like, it was back then when CG stuff wasn't really used very often. Code Lyoko was also a CG show. When they went into, like, the video game world, they were, like, in 3D, or, like, the digital world, or whatever the heck they were doing. It just didn't age super well. It's still enjoyable, but it doesn't hold up as well as, like, say, Avatar: The Last Airbender, which holds up insanely well. Like, I watched it I used to watch it on and off with friends as a kid, but I never fully watched Avatar: The Last Airbender in all its glory until I was an adult during, like, the pandemic, like, on Netflix. And that is a well-written show. So, like, some things age really well and, like, hold up really well, but Code Lyoko not so much. It's still enjoyable, but it kind of fell flat from, like, how I remembered it, I guess. But yeah, like, all these tangents aside, like, if anyone knows how I could get into Winx Club, let me know, because I've always wanted to watch it. I just wasn't really girly when it was, like, airing and popular in America. Everyone had massive foreheads. I need to do an Avatar The Last Airbender. Words! I need to do an Avatar The Last Airbender rewatch. No, you should do it, for real. It's so good. It's so good. It blew my mind. I wasn't expecting a whole lot watching it as an adult. I was just like, oh, I hate saying this. I was so cringe back when when Avatar was first airing on Nickelodeon, that I was in a really, really big anime phase. Like, super, super big, like, weeaboo phase, like, for real. And I would not watch anything that wasn't made in Japan at that point in time. Like, I used to love, like, Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and stuff, and I didn't want to watch Avatar because I was like, oh, that's just a rip-off anime. That's not real anime. Maybe I can watch it dubbed in Japanese. Watch Avatar: The Last Airbender dubbed in Japanese, and that would be cool. But no, this isn't Japanese enough. And, like, my dumb ass didn't watch, like, this amazing piece of animation for years and years because that. I was only like 11, 12 years old, guys. Like, I wasn't thinking like a grown-ass adult like this. That was part of, like, my entry into the Japanese language, like, during that, like, cringe time. And, like, you know, middle school, you're pretty cringe in middle school, you know? Like, I'm just saying, like, most people have a cringe middle school phase. Avatar was animated by a Korean studio, if I recall correctly. Oh my god. I didn't know that. I think my younger self still would have been like, oh, it's not Japanese though. But no, I was very weeaboo back then. I was really obsessed with Full Metal Alchemist, Inuyasha, Naruto, to an extent. I kind of fell off with Naruto after the Chunin exams, but yeah. Elfen Lied, if anyone remembers Elfen Lied. Oh, Mermaid Melody, when we only had like fan dubs. I only had like good crusty ass fan dubs to watch online. Fruits Basket, you know, all that good stuff. Or on High School Host Club, that was my shit. That's an anime that I can still watch today, and it's like really funny. I have such a gripe with Elfen Lied. Yeah, I can't rewatch Elfen Lied. It's just too much for me now, and I have issues with it too. As like a 12-year-old, I was like, oh, this is so edgy and cool. Now I have many issues with it, and I will not watch it again. And also, I saw some really horrific things as like a 12-year-old that I probably shouldn't have seen by watching Elfen Lied, especially in the early episodes, and I don't want to see them again. I still gotta watch so many of the old stuffs. No, there's so much good stuff. Like, this was when I was first getting into anime, and these anime were still fairly new. And I don't know, as time went on, I got more into like 90s and 80s anime, but like those are like my gateway drugs, like Inuyasha, Full Metal Alchemist, absolutely. I kept up with the manga. My mom would take me to Borders, if anyone remembers Borders, the bookstore, and we would go to the manga section, and I would get the latest Full Metal Alchemist that was out in America at that time. Did you watch the final season of Inuyasha, the final act? No. I was already out of the Inuyasha loop by that point in time. Like, I really loved Inuyasha when I was younger, but once that actually came out, I just kind of fell off. I did watch Yashahime Hime a bit, but I just couldn't get really into it. I'm rewatching Technolize. That sounds familiar. I've never seen that, though. I used to watch a fandom of the old Animal Crossing anime film when I was little. I remember that. Oh my god. I remember that fandom. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Those were the days. Speaking of Mermaid Melody, has 2 lost English dubs, the ADV one and the one from Malaysia, I think. I think the Malaysia one's Animax, if I recall. I vaguely knew about that because I was always waiting for there like a dub to come out for Mermaid Melody, and it never did. And I read the manga and stuff. Like, that was like, I thought that was like peak fiction. I thought like the love story between her and the boy was just peak fiction. And I just loved it. Tokyo Mew Mew too. Like, I just like, oh my god, this is, when I grow up, I'm gonna meet my prince, and like, it'll be just like this. And you know, like, that was my shit. I was like, oh, it doesn't get much better than this. My older brother was very into Naruto when he was younger. Some of my first exposure to anime. Yeah, no, weirdly enough, speaking of Malaysia, my first exposure to Naruto was before it started airing on Cartoon Network, when I went to Malaysia in like 2005 with because I have my uncle married somebody who is from Malaysia, and she is of Chinese descent, and she wanted to do a wedding, like a traditional wedding in Malaysia where she grew up. So my uncle, like, he invited my family, like my mom and I and my grandma, to go watch the wedding over there. So I went to Malaysia back in 2005, and it was a very cool experience. Opened my eyes to like different cultures for the first time. And when I went to I believe there's a mall, and I believe they call them the Twin Towers there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, Malaysia has their own Twin Towers, and there's a mall in there. And there was a manga store. And I saw, like, this book that was, like, a guide to the Naruto anime. And I had no idea what this anime was at all at this point in time, but I saw the design for Sakura. And I thought it looked so cool. I thought it looked like such a cool anime. And I picked it up and I went through it. And when I went back home, I was showing like my friends in school it. It's like, oh, look, this looks so cool. And then I saw Naruto on Cartoon Network. Like, it started airing on Cartoon Network like right after that. And I was like, what the heck? This is the stuff in my book. And it was in Chinese, by the way. I couldn't read any of it. I just liked the photos and I like browsed through it. And that was my introduction to Naruto. And despite thinking Sakura had a really cool character design back then, because I've always loved green and pink a lot, and she has like inverted, like, green eyes and pink hair, like kind of the inverted version of my eyes and hair here. yeah, no, that was my introduction to Naruto, and it was interesting. And despite Sakura being really interesting to me then, I quickly learned that her character is not great. Her character is not very well written, or at least I'm just not a fan of her. So yeah, that's what happened with that. And then like I just kind of got burnt out on Naruto quickly because oh, I got to not to go off topic here, but I also really like Bleach, and Bleach is another one I just like. I was really into at first. And then I kind of fell off because my favorite character is Rukia, and they, you know, when they get to the Soul Society arc and everything, like I just kind of fell off with that because I thought the whole anime would be like Ichigo and Rukia, just like slaying hollows, and it'd be more like slice of life-ish, not really slice of life, but just more about like their interactions. And then like it got more advanced, and with the Soul Society arc and Rukia being in prison, like. Yeah, no, I just kind of got over it. I used to ship Ichigo and Rukia, and I was just like, no, this isn't what I thought it would be. So like after like Renji got into the picture and stuff, and then they were like had to rescue Rukia, and I was like, oh, neat, okay, what? And it's not what I thought it would end up being. Not saying it's a bad anime or manga, but like my 12-year-old self at the time thought it would be very different. I thought it'd be like become like some kind of fruit. I didn't know, by the way, I didn't know the difference between shonen and shoujo back then. So I was thinking Bleach would take a very different turn and be like fucking Fruits Basket or something like that. I don't know why, but I thought like the whole emphasis on Rukia living in Ichigo's closet and them like being close, like I thought it would focus more on them. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I genuinely don't know what the hell I was thinking, but now, yeah, it's a shonen, obviously it wouldn't do that. I got into anime thanks to Tokyo Mew Mew because I watched it as a young kid on Pop Girl. I've never heard of Pop Girl. I'm assuming that's not in America, or it might be in Canada or something, but not in America at least. Fruits Basket with demons, I see that working. No, for real. I thought it would be like cute like that. Like, I don't know, like, cause the way they set it up, how Rukia believed in Ichigo and gave her powers to him, and then she lived in his closet, and like a UK channel. Okay, that's cool. Tokyo Mew Mew though, like I want to do a rewatch of that one someday, because like I remember really liking that. It was called Mew Mew Power, I believe, on Fox. My keyboard is annoying me today. No, I feel that. No worries. But yeah, no, I don't know why I thought Bleach would be a shoujo, but yeah, those were my like gateways to anime. It was very misleading, not gonna lie. I feel you though, I was more of an Orihime type of guy. I mean, yeah, I think the people who sided more with Orihime got like the better, you know, because it started to focus more on Ichigo and Orihime as the manga went on. Like, I would still follow it casually, because like I, for some reason, hope that like Ichigo and Rukia would still end up together. But you know, they ended up not going in that direction, and Rukia didn't really have as big of a presence in the anime later on. Sakura, did you watch the Tokyo Mew Mew reboot? I did not know there was a reboot. Are you talking about the ones with the guys? Like the manga? Because I did hear about the news about that and read like the first chapter, but I didn't like... if you're not talking about that, there's a Tokyo Mew Mew manga spinoff with like male Tokyo Mew Mew characters. There's a new anime. Oh! Let me look. I am interested in that. I really want to rewatch Tokyo Mew Mew. That was one that I did watch and I did enjoy, but I didn't really get super into it like Mermaid Melody. Like, I did like it a lot, but I wasn't like obsessed with it, you know? Oh, what the heck? Yeah, here's some of the guys I was talking about. That one came out a couple years ago, I believe. Yeah, I guess there's a whole universe. What the heck? There's a reboot. The whole series is on YouTube. That's nice. Well, I had no idea about any of this. Oh, and the art looks so cute too. Whoa. Oh, I love her videos. If you guys like shoujo anime, I highly recommend this channel, by the way. Just real quick. What the heck? Oh, I gotta look into this more later. I had no idea they rebooted Tokyo Mew Mew. That's so cool. That is so cool. But, my friends, we are getting off topic. And I have other Lost Media things I have to spotlight before I have to end the stream in a little bit, so that's a cute style. I'm interested. Yeah, no, the art style looks so good. Look at that. It's very different from the original, but it looks good. I'll have to look into that later. I really like Tokyo Mew Mew. And I've been like thinking like, oh, I should rewatch it. Another one I really liked, this one I didn't like watch in America because it never got dubbed, but Yumeto Patisserie. It's basically a cute anime, like a shoujo, but it's more baking themed. It's like Baking Magical Girl. Yeah, this anime. And they yeah, it's good. It's good because I love to bake. Baking's like my thing. Like one of my favorite hobbies is to bake. And this is basically a shoujo anime, magical girl, and she bakes. And she goes to school to bake, and that's like her goal, is to be like the best baker. And it's so cute, genuinely so cute. I highly recommend it if you like that type of anime. Anyways, though, Lost Media. This isn't Lost. If it was Lost, I'd be very sad, but it's not Lost. It's not Lost. We're good. Anyways, yeah, we looked at Bit the Cupid. That was quite the side quest, but we looked at Bit the Cupid. So let's see, what else do I got? I can probably do a couple more, but I will go in a bit because I am getting a little tired. Did you ever like the OG Precure? I've heard a lot about Precure, and I remember it being kind of a big deal, like back when I first started getting into like Japan stuff, and I remember like seeing a lot of Precure toys, like online when I would try to like import Pokemon toys and stuff. I know of it, but I never really watched it. Doremani? Yeah, no, Doremani has some good content. I really like her videos. That's one like smaller YouTuber that I really hope like blows up. Like her videos are so fascinating. They're so nostalgic because she talks about a lot of like shoujo anime that I just haven't seen in years, and it just feels so nice and sweet and nostalgic to watch her stuff. You've been very generous with your time. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cosmic Order. I like hanging out with you guys. I just gotta I'm also doing like, you know, the long form content stuff, and I gotta get that video live later tonight. So you know, I can stay for a little longer. I can stay probably till like 30-40 minutes. So we'll go over some more Lost Media, and then I will, you know, head out and give you guys that content. Not immediately, of course. I gotta do the Patreon shoutouts. And I try to do that at the last minute so the people who just subscribe will get their names in there, and it all fits. And I also am showing the winners of my Draw This in Your Style contest in this new video too, because that was part of the like rewards, is you get a shout out in the video. So I have a few things to add, and then it'll go live. I also had to make some corrections. When it was up on Patreon, there was one like little typo that I thankfully caught because somebody pointed it out. I haven't watched Precure, but I'm watching Princession Orchestra, or I will be when The Good Fan Subber returns. I've never heard of that. That sounds cool. Yeah, Rukia becoming the damsel in distress is pretty bad. Yeah, on the topic of Bleach again, no. I feel like they did Rukia a bit dirty. Alright, next topic. This one blew my mind, by the way. Well, actually, hang on. Let me see what we got. Okay, here's two. I guess this is kind of a double feature here. But, alright, there's this Lost Wave song called I'm Gonna Destroy That Boy, and it's a certified hood classic. I wanted to add some kind of Lost Wave in here, just because I want to discuss Lost Wave in addition to Lost Media, because that's also my niche, so I thought it'd be cool to talk about this. There's also this, let me see, where's there we go. I'm gonna move it so it's in shot a bit better. London After Midnight is such a big one, but it's something I don't really know the story of too well, so I thought it'd be fun to read through that LMW article and, like, culture ourselves a bit, because when it comes to Lost Media, you know, you talk about, like, a lot of recent things, but London After Midnight is, like, the OG, like, one of the OGs, of course. London After Midnight is one of my faves, yeah. I feel like I need to culture myself a bit more and read that article, but let's listen to I'm Gonna Destroy That Boy first. Hopefully it's a song from the 60s, so I don't think it's explicit or anything, but, Let's see if it comes up. It's apparently a certified hood classic. Here it is. Here it is. A wonderful enigmatic piece of 60s girl garage soul. Ooh, interesting. The Mysterious 45 features... okay, I'll read that in a second. Let's listen first. So here's our Lost Wave for the stream.
I'm gonna decide that boy. I said it just so carefully. Till now I've kept my ammunition undercover. Tonight I'll use it all to make that boy my lover. I'm gonna decide that boy the way no girl has done before.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm sorry! You just saw me wiggling and nothing on the screen. Oh my god. The shift fire. Can you hear it? Hold on, I had shit on the screen. Oh my god. That was so cringe. That was bad. That was bad. Bad me. Okay. Oh my god. You just saw me fucking... Could you hear the song at least? Or did you just see me just seizing on the screen? Holy moly. Did you... let me know if you heard it at least. But we're gonna play it again, because I don't... Jesus, I'm sorry. You heard it? Okay. Okay, so yeah, it slaps, right? What happened? No, I forgot to switch scenes. Because, like, I had it up on screen so you guys could see, like, the story behind it. And, no, you just saw me just doing this. And you heard the song, at least, which is nice. But let's redo it in the way I intended. So, yeah, this is the upload, I believe. And then we can, like, read about it if there's some, like, a Lost Way post. But let's get back to the beginning. And here's, like, I don't think this graphic has anything to do with it. I don't think this is the woman who sang it, but...
I'm gonna destroy that boy. Tonight he's got to fall for me. I'm gonna destroy that boy. I said it just so carefully. Till now I've kept my ammunition undercover. Tonight I'll use it all to make that boy my lover. I'm gonna destroy that boy the way no girl has done before. I'm gonna destroy that boy with goodies from my candy store. He's gonna fall so fast it's absolutely frightening. My love is gonna hit him like a bolt of lightning. I'm gonna destroy that boy with deep loving from my soul. I'm gonna destroy that boy. His heart will burn like red hot coal. Till now I've kept my ammunition undercover. Tonight I'll use it all to make that boy my lover. I'm gonna destroy that boy. I'm gonna destroy that boy. Yes, I will. I'm gonna destroy him.
So yeah, that's a banger. No, they're right. That is a certified hood classic. I feel so white when I say certified hood classic, but yeah, no, that shit slaps. No, good stuff. The Graveyard 5 is another good topic for Lost Wave. Oh, okay. 60s garage rock is such an underrated genre. No, I had no idea 60s garage rock was really the big thing. Like when I think of 60s, I think of like the Beatles, a lot of covers, like pop covers and stuff. No, that shit slapped. Speaking of Lost Wave, I got one of my parents into it. That's funny. I got my mom into Wang videos because I was watching, like, back when the most mysterious song on the internet, when he was making those videos and the Saki Sanabashi videos. Like, I had it on the TV because it was during the pandemic, and, like, she was like, oh, what is this? This is interesting. And then she started watching his videos and ended up going into the more unsavory ones, like the My Little Pony jar one. And yeah, I came home one day and from, like, class, and she was just watching it. I was like, okay, sure. So, you know, yeah, no, I feel that to an extent. This song rules. Can't believe I don't know about it. Yeah, no, I'm glad I, you know, spread awareness here, because this shit slaps. This shit's a banger. Let's see if we can read something on it, though. I want to educate you all a bit, and educate myself, of course. A wonderful and enigmatic piece of 60s girl garage soul. That mysterious 45 features 2 acetate recordings associated with the Detroit label Tuba, though none of them came to be released on it or any other label we are aware of. No info about the artist either. All we know is that Destroy That Boy was recorded in New York, and there are different versions of the song by the What For and the Happy Cats. We know even less about Watch Out, just that it's another wallop of a track with sassy threats. Subscribe to our channel, and there it is in, I'm assuming, Spanish. The whole same thing. So, that's very interesting. Let me see if there's a Lost Wave article on it. There we go. There's a Lost Wave wiki. I always forget that. If this track came from a record, is there a full photo of this record? There are a lot of AI songs going around at the moment, so it would be nice if we could confirm this is in fact a real Lost Wave. Yeah, I believe that's like the label right there. Let me see. So it showed it in the video a bit. Like right here. If it would let me. The Columbia record production thing. And there's like, there we go. So this is like, I believe this is a photo of like the, you know, the label on the record. I don't see anything else, but I mean, let me see when this first came about. Let me see. No, let me just read the article. We'll go from there. But it looks like that is like the record, and that's like all they have to go off of, and that's like where they found it. All right. I'm Gonna Destroy That Boy is an unidentified 60s cover of I'm Gonna Destroy That Boy by the What For in 1966. The song also came from 2 acetate recordings along with the other song Watch Out. So Watch Out's probably on the B side. Nothing we know about the song other than 2 information. It was likely recorded by TM Music Inc., based in New York around the 1960s as a demo track, and there are 2 different versions by the What For and the Happy Cats. The acetates which contained the song were associated with Detroit label Tuba, although none of them came to be released on it. The song has been distributed on multiple websites such as YouTube, SoundCloud, and Amazon Music. That's crazy. I don't know what the legality of that is, but I guess since it's not copyrighted. On October 14, 2016, Murder Records re-uploaded the song to YouTube and the information of their own website, and the information to their own website. Its page is now taken down, so I think we just went on there. Okay, so these are just re-uploads. According to Boogaloo Bag, it was highly supposed to be written by Artie Resnick, Chris Resnick, and Ron Dante, as their names were listed in the record of the What For version, released by Columbia Records. Okay. And yeah, here's the LP label. That's all we got. But I'm assuming this is pretty legit. I don't know how long this search has been going on, but, you know. Well, that's cool. Very interesting. Checking TM Music's page on Discogs, very few releases. Interesting. I notice a lot of Lost Wave, like, the stuff that's identified comes from, like, record labels that don't go anywhere. Well, this one's more Lost Media, but, what was that Lost record that was on the Hot 100 and they could never find it? What was it called? All Things Lost talked about it. There's usually a sign, but I don't hear anything dodgy here. Yeah, it doesn't sound like AI to me. It sounds pretty legit. I think people tend to get a bit paranoid over AI nowadays because you just don't know what is AI and what isn't. And that's terrifying to me. But it's very understandable to like rule out if it's AI. I forgot the name, but I'm familiar with the case. Yeah, what's it called? What's it called? Yeah, no. What is it called? It's it has a name. It has yeah, it has a name. It has a name that's not coming to mind. Lost Song Hot 100. It's like from the 70s. None of this is that. We're in, yeah. It was like Hot and Ready or something like that. Something and something. Dang it, I cannot remember what it is. Ready and Steady. Thank you, Mihai. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, Ready and Steady. The story, but I'm not angry. There we go. Ready and Steady was it was some guy was trying to document all the, well, we can look it on LMW. It is lost media after all. There we go. So this one, but my point here was this one, the record label was so small and unknown. It was literally just two guys that made their own record label, I believe. And it never came to fruition, and they were never actually able to release the record itself, like on a public scale. Anyways, Ready and Steady is a 1979 record by recording artist D.A., which appeared on several charts. The single was released by Rascal Records. So Rascal Records was like the record label, but it was very small, and this was like the only release on it. Ready and Steady first landed on Billboard's Bubbling Under Hot, the 100 charts at number 106. The next issue, it climbed higher to 103 before reaching its peak at 102. The issue after that, the singles time on the chart was short. The singles time on the chart was short, and the limelight was a brief 3 weeks of the single. The song has never been listed since, and many rumors and doubts as to its existence have circulated, with music historian Joel Whitburn having collected 45s of every song to hit the charts except for this one, has tried searching desperately for proof of its existence since 1995. So, it is found now, it does exist, but yeah, this guy was trying to find every song that ever hit the Hot 100, and he could not find this one. This is the one that just kept evading him. The exact identity of the artist was a mystery. For a while, it was assumed that the song was made by Chicago-based female punk rock band D.A., who were active during the single's release. Further backing this up was that the alleged label, Rascal, was advertising in a punk rock magazine based in Detroit. The label has been long gone since, being based out of a residential home. However, D.A. later publicly stated they never made such a record. For years, it was presumed the record was false or may have been a misprint billboard. The 2002 edition of Jeffrey Osborne's official price guide to records listed it as being worth $75 to $125. Like, bro, how did you get those numbers? How on earth did you get those numbers as something that isn't even confirmed to exist? Like, there's no record of it, like, going for auction or anything. Anyways, the United States Copyright Office has listed a registration for the record, dating back to 1986, with the creation date of 1975 providing evidence that the song did indeed exist. The artist of the song turned out to be Dennis Armand D.A. Lucchesi. The artist of the song turned out to be Dennis Armand D.A. Lucchesi. who passed away in 2005, unfortunately, a California-based mortgage broker and amateur musician, and Jim Franks. Franks is still alive and willingly gave Paul Haney, on behalf of Whitburn, a recording of the song. It was played on July 8, 2016, on the Crap from the Past radio show on KFAI Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. According to Haney, who appeared on Crap from the Past, explaining the history behind the song, has spoken with Franks, who told him that the song was as well as 3 or 4 other songs. Wait. Had spoken with Franks, who told him that the song, as well as 3 or 4 other songs, was recorded in 1979 after a major label representative witnessed the band play live. He offered the band studio time and promised that he would help the band get a song on the Billboard charts. Despite the appearance on the charts, the song was never pressed onto vinyl. Because of this, it's unknown if the song ever reached radio play at the time of its recording. So yeah. So he put it on the Billboard, but it never actually saw a release. So that's very interesting. And we can probably just listen to it because it's not like, you know, not going to be DMCA'd, of course. It's surprising that a song could sell enough copies to almost get on the top 100 but still fall into obscurity. Yeah, Smith Zero, I think the story is that they basically just knew this guy who heard him play live and they just got him on the Hot 100 without actually like having any kind of numbers to equate to that. Yeah, what a strange case of media manipulation, for real. Oh, and I'll look at your other thing you suggested in a second, Jeremiah. Let me just, let's play this song before I forget, so we actually know what it sounds like. If I recall, it doesn't really sound like metals, like punk music at all. Yeah, so that's about the gist of it. Not as good as the last one. Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's just a matter of preference, I guess. Yeah, like, it's pretty good. Thought this was a phantom record, but it actually exists. Cool. Yeah, no. It's cool that it actually did end up existing. It's unfortunate that the person one of the people who made the song passed away in 2005 and never really saw this attention it got on, like, as far as this, like, community, like, grasping onto it and preserving it, but, you know, unfortunate. It looks like he passed away at only like 60 years old too. It sounds like generic 70s rock. I mean, it has that vibe for sure, but like, it's definitely like, they definitely put a lot of work into this record, so it's unfortunate I never saw a release. Sounds very blues, like Chuck Berry. Yeah, it kind of sounds like Chuck Berry, right? The little dancing dinosaurs. What did you say to look at? Okay, it's a banger. What was that thing you said to look at, Jeremiah? Let me find it. Oh, yeah. Going back to the Wang videos. Yeah, my mom loves the John Teeter video. I forgot about that. Yeah, she's really into that kind of like mystery kind of stuff. Yeah, it was Daisy Bell, sorry. Daisy Bell, let me see. Was it just called Daisy Bell? Is it a Lost Wave song? Someone else head out to, Tao Twinkle, I'm sorry, you're probably long gone, but thank you for joining us. Oh, Daisy Bell is the early 3D thing. That's right. We go on so many tangents. I genuinely forget what we were going. Well, you know what was going on. Hang on. Okay, I'll go on YouTube and type in Daisy Bell and see what comes up. I'm sorry, I just cannot hold a thought. God, what is going on with normie YouTube? What is the AI K-pop Demon Hunter shit down there? Oh, is this it? Oh my god. Oh dear.
Daisy, 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 all for the love of you.
Hang on, I look too calm to be watching this. Hang on. What the fuck? How old is this?
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer too. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage. But you look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
Holy crap! That was something. I don't know how old it is. I don't see a year. Like, I don't know what that is, but okay, yeah, that was something. Thank you for showing me that, Jeremiah. That's wait, 1961? Is the song from 1961? That's insane. If they created the vocals in 1961, that's actually very impressive. But oh my god, that was very uncanny. And yeah, that's something. That looks like something I'd see on like an Adult Swim bumper or something. But yeah, let's there was one more. Oh yeah, London After Midnight. So yeah, let's so going back to our other suggestion. London After Midnight, as popular as it is, my big one is London After Midnight. So thank you to Paul Joe 09. Oh, and also MPFCAATHC 9012345 is two suggested. I'm gonna destroy that boy. So huge props. Thank you. Congrats. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Is what I meant to say. 1960s Vocaloid win. Oh my god. Oh, the song is older from IBM 70. The song is older. Okay, interesting. So the graphics, the graphics look kind of 80s, maybe even late 70s, which is still impressive for the time. Like, yeah, it's terrifying, but it's genuinely impressive what people could do. So, you know, that's cool. Yeah, definitely Adult Swim late night vibe. Yeah, for real. I feel like I would just see that randomly. But, yeah, London After Midnight. It's one that I feel like most people know about, but I actually have not read up on it, so I thought it'd be fun. Maybe we can end the stream by just reading up on London After Midnight. And I have some more suggestions, and I'll just load them up for next Lost Media stream, and then we'll just discuss some more Lost Media and, you know, spread awareness to all these niche cool topics. I mean, London After Midnight is anything but niche. But I want to make a video on VTuber channel about the Lost Media. I'm calling it the Lost Media Starter Pack, like the topics you should know about if you're new to the Lost Media community. And I want to put London After Midnight, A Day with SpongeBob, Clockman. There's more. Maybe Me and My Friends. We'll see. That one's been more popular in recent years with all the drama surrounding it. But yeah, I want to make like a little starter pack. The Wicked Witch episode, the from Sesame Street, just stuff like that. Just like, if you're new to the Lost Media community, these are 5 topics you should know about. Just you know, just that. And I just go off. Doctor Who Lost episodes are classic. That's another good one. I'll have to consider what the top 5 should be. But yeah, just something to introduce people to the community in a positive way. And yeah, like that'll be a short eventually, and maybe I'll make a video with like the 10 lost media topics that you should know about. Like these are the 10 lost media topics that new people. Wait, these are the top. Hang on, let me reset my brain. I can't narrate how I talk in videos just constantly. It's hard. Here are 10 essential lost media topics that people new to the community should know about. Just, stuff like that. Jeff the Killer OG photo. I wouldn't say that's an essential. That's more of a recent mystery. I'm talking about the stuff that, like, the classics, the classics, like London After Midnight, like Clockman. Just stuff that, like, everyone should know about to acquaint themselves with the lost media community and just know where we've been before we move forward. Cracks is another good one. I thought about Cracks. But, yeah, let's just read about London After Midnight, and then we'll call it. We're not going to call it immediately. Of course, it's probably going to take me a while to get through this article. But I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun to learn about this. And, yeah, thank you again, Jeremiah. This is amazing. I remember there was a song my dad used to listen to when I was younger. It's like a rock song from like the 70s or 80s. And one of the lines is like, London After Midnight. And that's the only reason I knew. Like, I didn't know anything about the actual Lost film until later. But I was like, what does that mean? Alright. Unrelated. And I saw someone in the chat. I forgot to answer them. I'm sorry. But I saw that they said... London After Midnight has a novelization that's like based on the film's plot, which is really cool, and that's cool that we have it preserved in some way. But let's go through it. Now, obviously, this is a very old piece of lost media. And while, like, the more classic lost films from the 20s and 30s don't tend to get as much traction and attention, they're still important. It's still important to understand media preservation from all aspects. Everything's important. So we're gonna go through this. Nice bedroom, Sakura. Thank you. Let me I did it again, guys. I did it again. Hang on. There we go. So yeah, obviously it's not a new piece of lost media. It's Living After Midnight by Judas Priest. Oh my god, really? Okay, I always thought it said London After Midnight. My silly ass. Thank you, Mihai. Judas Priest, that makes sense. My dad likes Judas Priest and the Cult, just like rock music. You're so welcome, Sakurita. Thank you again. Your fails are cute though. Speaks to your natural charisma. Thank you, Cosmic Order. Yeah, I'm a bit of a klutz. But it's okay. It's okay, because I'm being myself, and that's all that matters. Alright, back to this, though. Rather be myself than pretend to be someone I'm not, Anyways, let's read this. Like I said, lost media, this is really old. It's important to know, like, new and old stuff. Like, everything deserves attention. This is, like, one of the essential, like, original lost media pieces. So, let's go through it. Let's talk about it. Let's run it. Let's run it, gamers. Oh gosh, your father listens to Judas Priest. We're not all born equal, I guess. Yeah, no, my dad is, like, he grew up in the 80s and 70s, so yeah, no. He likes rock music. Anyways, London After Midnight is a lost 1927 American silent film horror... Hang on. I don't know why I skipped 2 words there. London After Midnight is a lost 1927 American silent horror mystery film directed and co-produced by Todd Boeing, starring Lon Chaney. The film was based on Boeing's story, The Hypnotist, and was written by Waldemar Young. Let me zoom in a bit, actually. There we go. Waldemar Young. Where to go? It was distributed by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer with cinematography by Merritt B. Gerstad and set designs by Cedric Gibbons and Arnold Gillespie. A remake, The Mark of the Vampire, was made by Boeing in 1935. It's crazy that things could be remade so quickly back then because just film technology was expanding so much. Like, a 30s remake from a 20s movie doesn't sound like much traction, but, like, things were moving so quickly with motion pictures back then. Like, Anyways. In rural England, here's the synopsis, here's the story. In rural England, Sir Roger Balfour, Claude King, the wealthy head of a grand mansion, is discovered dead in his study with an apparent note. His close friend and neighbor, Sir James Hamlin, was the last to see him and insists that Balfour would never do that. The investigation is led by Professor Edward C. Burke, Lon Chaney, a clever and unorthodox detective from Scotland Yard. Burke questions Sir James, Balfour's butler Williams, and Hamlin's nephew Arthur Hibbs, ultimately suspecting Hibbs, but concluding the death was that. 5 years later, the once thriving Balfour estate has fallen into ruin and gained a sinister reputation. Strange lights and eerie happenings prompt rumors of vampiric activity. The mansion is rented by two mysterious figures, a pale ghostly woman and a Ticknor, and a man wearing a tall beaver felt hat with sharp teeth, Lon Chaney. Lon Chaney again. Adding to the house's haunted mystique. And the man in the beaver hat, I guess, is this guy right here. Sir James, disturbed by these events, calls on Burke once again. Burke arrives undercover, adopting the identity of the eerie tenant with the beaver hat to investigate firsthand. Supernatural incidents occur, including ghost sightings, hypnotic trances affecting Balfour's daughter Lucille, and strange behavior from Arthur Hibbs. Burke's skepticism leads to... Holy crap, okay. Burke's skepticism leads him to exhume Balfour's tomb, which is discovered empty. Alongside the maid Smithson, Polly Moran, and the ghostly woman, Burke orchestrates a psychological trap through hypnosis and stage reenactment of past events inside the mansion. Burke forces Sir James into a trance that takes him back to the night of Balfour's passing. In this reenactment of events, Sir James unwittingly confesses to murdering Balfour, staging the events to clear his path to marry Lucille against her father's wishes. The final act sees Burke revealing himself and breaking the hypnotic spell, exposing Sir James as the true murderer. With the mystery solved, Lucille and Arthur, who have fallen in love, are finally free to marry, bringing closure to the dark saga that has haunted the Balfour estate. So yeah, that's interesting. I thought it was more like I remember the vampire stuff. I thought it was more fantasy oriented though, I guess. Let me check chat real quick before we continue. Mind you, motion pictures started to have sound in the 30s, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah, no, absolutely. I forgot. Like, films were mostly silent in the 20s. Feels like something straight out of Sherlock Holmes, Edgar Allan Poe. No, for real. For real. It does. Anyways, let's go back. Alright. So, protection. In 1926 and 1927, director Todd Browning and actor Lon Chaney collaborated closely on several films, including The Blackbird, The Road to Mandalay, and The Unknown, effectively functioning like a small production unit with MGM. Browning's regular team, scenarist Walter Young and cinematographer Merritt B. Gerstad, editor Harry Reynolds, and title writer Joe Farman, wardrobe head Lucia Coulter, and art designers Cedric Gibbons and A. Arnold Gillespie were all said to work on London After Midnight. London After Midnight began filming on July 27, 1927 at MGM Studios in Culver City and was nearly complete by October that year. Browning was interested in horror themes and possibly influenced by the popular stage adaptation of Dracula, opened in London on February of 1927. New York in October of 1927. His original script for London After Midnight, originally titled The Hypnotist, featured vampire motifs similar to Dracula, including mist-like appearances. Characters named Lucy, garlic protections, and hypnotism, which was popular in 1920s America. Hypnotism, I believe, was popular in 1920s America. Why did I say 11? Chaney's makeup and character design as the man in the beaver hat were partly inspired by Bram Stoker's Dracula, drawing from a sparse script description. Chaney created a vampire-like figure dressed entirely in black, with bat-like wings under his coat, bulging darkened eyes, and and held open with rings, pointed teeth, and a fixed grin achieved through dental wires. That's fascinating. Let's look at that real quick. So this is all props, I'm assuming. Like, just all the makeup design did this. Very interesting. Yeah, you can see those things kind of. Anyways, Chaney put himself through significant physical strain to achieve realistic effects by manipulating his body for dramatic creep movements. His dedication even extended to scenes in which he was hoisted 30 feet in the air dressed as a bat, a stunt he insisted on doing himself, though it was later filmed with actress Edna Ticknor. On set, musicians Sam and Jack Feinberg created eerie and suspenseful music to accompany the film's supernatural scenes. Chaney preferred sentimental live music, but MGM later proposed using Danse Macabre as the official score. The score featured works by Greg Wagner, Puccini, and others. I'm assuming those are classical musicians. Anyways, releasing criticism. London After Midnight premiered in Los Angeles on December 3rd, 1927 and ran for 65 minutes. The general reception of the film was mixed, with significant praise for Lon Chaney's performance and makeup, but frequent criticism of the film's storyline and direction. Despite the critical divide, the film was a commercial success, which led to the renewal of Browning's contract with MGM. Critics commonly agreed that the film's plot was confusing or incoherent, with the New York Times and Harrison's reports describing it as somewhat incoherent and nonsensical, respectively. The New Yorker echoed this. Okay, excuse me, let me clear my throat a bit. The New Yorker echoed this, stating that the efforts of Chaney and director Todd Boeing were wasted due to the nonsensical story. So, yeah, I kind of feel like it's that synopsis kind of felt like it was missing something here, like how it jumped from like, oh, vampires to like, oh no, they just wanted to get married and everything's good. Like, I feel like it felt a little incomplete and kind of jumped back and forth, at least from that very small. Obviously, I can't watch the film, but it did feel a bit like weird and sporadic. It's a Christmas movie, Smith Zero. What the heck? Just like how Die Hard's a Christmas movie. I think Lon Chaney would do his own makeup, making him known as the man with 1,000 faces. That's very interesting, Scribbles. And that takes a lot of skill to, like, actually produce those kind of effects. Because even though the film's in black and white, like, you would have to use, I believe women would have green on their face to make their complexion look a bit more fair, if I recall. Like, I don't correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not an expert on this, but I believe like the makeup in color looked very different and used different colors to get like that dramatic effect. So there's a lot that goes into that, or went into that. It's kind of a lost art now, I guess. All right. Where were we? All right. The New Yorker echoed this, stating that the efforts of Chaney and director Todd Boeing were wasted due to the nonsensical story. Lon Chaney's dual performance received more consistent praise. His makeup and transformations were described as hideous, bizarre, or striking, with several reviewers noting that it heightened the film's eerie tone. Some publications, like Photoplay, described it by saying the disguise that Chaney uses while ferreting out the murderer is as gruesome as... Okay, hang on. The disguise that Chaney uses while ferreting out the murderer is as gruesome as any he has ever worn. The suspense is marvelously sustained. Chaney plays a dual role, and when conventionally clad, it is a little less convincing than usual. In the other role, perfect. Direction by Todd Browning received mixed feedback. While some outlets, like the Film Daily and Moving Picture World, admired the creepy atmosphere and sustained suspense, others, such as the Brooklyn Daily Eagle and the New Yorker, felt the direction didn't match the effectiveness of the previous horror efforts, and at times pushed too hard for effect. So yeah, wow. That is very interesting. And there's some more photos. There's a lot of photos, just not the film itself. But let's talk about availability. Let's talk about what happened to this. The last confirmed print of the film was believed to be stored in Vault Number 7 on MGM's Lot 1, as shown as as shown in a 1955 inventory, and reportedly seen by film historians William K. Everson and David Bradley in the early 50s. So 1955, that would be like about roughly 30 years after the film's production. The film's and here we are. The film's presumed destruction is linked to a fire caused by an explosion on MGM Lot 1. According to the Evening Vanguard on August 11, 1965, an explosion in a concrete film vault caused a fire that collapsed the vault's concrete roof. This event is believed to have resulted in the destruction of the last known copy of London After Midnight. How does that happen? How does that happen? Like, dog, like, it saw a theatrical release. Oh, how did the explosion happen? How did something just randomly explode there? Like, I'm sure there's more details in this link, but let's finish reading. All right. Prior to the... Ow! I hit my hand on my desk. Sorry, guys. Prior to the discovery of the 1965 Vanguard article, it had been assumed the fire occurred on May 13, 1967. In 2015, researcher Tom Weaver contacted Rudy Belmer, a former MGM employee, who recalled hearing an explosion around that time. Explosion due to nitrate film stock. Okay, interesting. Old-timey things. Reels used to be made from flammable material. Yeah, I understood that. I just didn't know what would cause such a fire to occur, like something that explosive and dramatic. I know, like, animation films are also originally very flammable when they were made of celluloid. Like, a lot of that stuff is just incredibly flammable, but that's crazy. All right. The film was not sold. Let me see. Hang on. Let me go back. In 2015, researcher Tom Weaver contacted Rudy Belmer, a former MGM employee, who recalled hearing an explosion around that time. However, Belmer acknowledged the possibility of date confusion, suggesting that memory can be unreliable and that the incident might have taken place in 1965 after all. His testimony, along with the article from the Evening Vanguard, supports the conclusion that the destruction occurred on August 11, 1965. Dang. The film was not sold to independent distributors or licensed for remakes, meaning prints were retained solely by MGM. Okay, oh wow. The studio was also meticulous about retrieving prints after their theatrical runs. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that answers my question. Making it unlikely that any unauthorized copies survived. This tight control, combined with the lack of evidence that the film survived in foreign archives, has led film historians and archivists to accept that the film is permanently lost. Whoa, Nelly, that's unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. That sucks. All right. Rumors persist that a private collector may possess a copy, and the film's international screenings in countless countries like France, Spain, and Brazil raise the faint possibility that a duplicate print might still exist. Although numerous nitrate frames, production stills, inner titles, and a complete script have survived, all efforts to locate a full copy of the film have so far failed. In 2002, filmmaker and archivist Rick Schmidlin created a 45-minute reconstruction of the film using over 200 still photographs and a complete script, accompanied by an original score by Robert Israel, commissioned by Turner Classic Movies. The reconstruction aired on TCM on August 15th of 2002 as part of a Lon Chaney tribute. It was also included in the Lon Chaney Collection DVD, also set released by TCM Archives. So yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Even though MGM's so, like, protective over their stuff, that's crazy that they didn't have copies in other locations. That's insane to me. But maybe they just, really, I don't think people saw the value in preserving these things back then as much, so, like, that's incredibly tragic. Like, RIP. And, like, it seems like this explosion wasn't really, like, there was the one article, but it wasn't, like, huge news. But I wonder what else was destroyed in this explosion. I wonder what else was possibly lost. And I'm sure that's documented somewhere, and we can, like, explore that later. There's a lot of images. Sewer Reviewer made a video on it. It's probably pretty good. You guys should check that out. Well, yeah, we can watch a bit of it. It's 7:08, but we can watch it.
London After Midnight. Many
Hang on, where's the sound?
lost media
Where's the
friends of
sounds
mine
going?
say
Hang on.
that this is the holy grail of lost media. I feel like everyone has that one piece of lost media that they want to be found, but
Okay,
when it
wait.
comes to London After
It's a
Midnight, it
crossover
seems that
episode.
everyone recognizes that it's an extremely influential film for not only the movie industry, but the lost media community as well. The story behind the film is actually quite an interesting one. There's a
I'll make it- I
massive
just had to
build-up
make
to
sure
a
the sound
huge
was coming
outcome,
through.
only
My
to
AirPods
end
died,
in
so I can't
tragedy.
hear it,
With the loss of
unfortunately.
various black and
So let
white
me
vintage
switch
films
that
over
so I
these
can hear
past
too.
few decades, I thought covering one of the most important ones of its time would be great to call attention to some of the others that have since vanished from the face of the earth. So today I thought we could take a look into it and explore some possibilities regarding the outcome of what happened to the film. So with that being said, sit back, relax, grab a snack, get some water, maybe make some popcorn, and get cozy.
Sometimes studios just destroy films because they didn't care to stock them. They didn't see any value in preserving them. Yeah, I really feel that like preserving media didn't become as important until later on, like when TCM was founded. TCM also like they play a lot of old films, like old black and white films, and like they seem to be very what's the word, very active in like film preservation and releasing sets of old films and like talking about film history. My grandma used to watch TCM a lot, so that's why I know that. So like it seems to be a more recent thing, and of course there's other film archives. This doesn't seem like a thing that became important until maybe post 1960s. I don't know, I wasn't there.
Because today we're going to explore what
I'm gonna
happened
put up the
to
captions
London
while,
After Midnight.
my AirPods charge.
Charles Albert Browning Jr., more
That's
well
him,
known
that's
as
the
Todd
dude.
Browning, was an
Sometimes when
American
I read
writer,
these names, I'm
performer,
like,
and
oh,
filmmaker.
I can't put a
Born
face
on
to the
July
name.
12, 1880 in Louisville, Kentucky, Todd had an astute passion for entertainment. As early as age 16, he would begin his entertainment career joining the circus. This would last him 13 years until he tried his hand in acting in 1909. In 1914, Browning would now begin his work as a director and screenwriter. In 1917, Browning would direct his very first silent film titled Jim Bludso. The film is also lost. What luck! From 1917 through 1918, Browning would work for Metro Pictures. However, he would leave the company in favor of Universal Studios. Due to his various credits and experience, he would soon find himself surrounded by all sorts of individuals in the film industry. One of these individuals would be Lon Chaney, one of the most famous American actors of his time. Chaney and Browning would be working together on films at Universal. By 1925, both Browning and Chaney were working for the newly established Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, or MGM. This is the funny company that had the lion roar through the circle at the start of every Tom and Jerry episode. It's also the company that absorbed Metro Pictures. Full circle. In 1927, Browning and Chaney would work together on a new film based on a story that was written by Browning himself. The story, called The Hypnotist, was to be adapted into a film starring Chaney and directed by Browning called London After Midnight, a mystery horror film that would be Chaney's last major role before passing in 1930. December 11th, 1927 marked the day the film was publicly shown. It was met with different critiques, some saying it was good, others saying it was mediocre. In a Variety article from a paper dated December
Wait, one
14th,
second, y'all. I'm just gonna minimize
1927,
it for just a
London
minute.
After Midnight was mentioned. The article said, quote, London After Midnight, Lon Chaney featured not much of a drawing card. Many people think that Browning had attached Chaney's name to the film to attract more attention to London After Midnight. And yeah, I guess I can understand that thought process. It's like if I attached featuring Markiplier or some super popular YouTuber at the end of the title of my videos. More people
Yeah.
are willing to watch it if it has someone familiar that they recognize in it. Well, according to the Variety article, it claims that although it was riding on the coattails of Chaney's name, it really wasn't that big of a draw to get more people to watch it, so, take that as you will. A lot of things in the film, however, received praise, and it has actually influenced a lot of later horror media that would follow the film. The film was around an hour in length, and in 1935, Browning made a remake of the film titled The Mark of the Vampire. So, critics have considered this piece to be extremely influential, even after the
So it seems like he leaned more into the vampire stuff later on. Because the original script, as we read on the LMW, had more vampire themes. So it seems like he leaned more back into that with the later version.
controversial takes on the film's development and what many of the past have had to say about it. Today, many see this piece as a holy grail of lost media,
makeup's
still
crazy.
extremely influential. But why do we say that? And what exactly was this movie about? London After Midnight had an interesting premise, and as mentioned before, it was a mystery horror film. I read this super long summary from IMDb, so I'm gonna try to explain it in a better way than how I read it because I had to go back and read it over like 3 times. So this guy named Roger Balfour is found dead in his huge mansion with a note claiming he did it himself. The last person to see him is James Hamlin, Balfour's neighbor and the executor of the Balfour estate. The inspector, Edward Burke, begins questioning the people around, including Hamlin, the butler, and Hamlin's nephew, Arthur Hibbs. However, the case goes cold, and we jump ahead 5 years. Inspector Burke is back on the case after Hamlin reaches out to him, claiming that the new residents of the Balfour mansion are really suspicious. Hamlin was really just like, those new neighbors inside their own property are strange. Let's call a private investigator to track their every move. Weirdo. Apparently, everyone who was questioned before lives in the Hamlin residence now, including the daughter of Roger Balfour, who is now an adult, which means she was at least like 13 when her dad died, so why is there no mention of her in any summary I can find prior to the time skip? Anyways, the new residents are believed to be vampires, and thus now we fall into the horror part of the mystery horror category. In this synopsis, it says that this is when we learned that Balfour's body is no longer in the tomb, and that there are stories from the new maid of the Balfour residence about these people having strange...
From what I remember, the original story had no vampires and was just about a detective using hypnotism to solve murder. Interesting. And they just kind of added more vampire stuff in, because that was just en vogue back then in style. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know. I'm learning about this in real time with you all.
Supernatural properties. Then a man who looks strange like Roger Balfour is seen inside the mansion. Burke talks to Balfour's daughter Lucille and tells her to trust him. He uses hypnosis to try to get any information about Balfour from Arthur, however, that gets us nowhere. Then Lucille is kidnapped by the 2 vampires, who I guess are like a couple, and brought back to the old house. Inspector Burke tells Hamlin that they need to go to the mansion to get Lucille back, which they do. That's when Hamlin is ambushed by one of the vampires, who puts him into hypnosis. Hamlin, in a trance, reveals that he was the one who ended the life of Balfour, all because he wanted to marry Lucille when she was old enough and Balfour refused. It turns out the Inspector Burke had disguised himself as one of the vampires, and the other was played by someone named Luna. The IMDb summary says that it was the new maid who was an assistant detective, but I don't know, because honestly the summary is just a little messy. Just a little.
Yeah,
Arthur and Lucille end up getting married because they've been in love, and the story ends with that. So I'm just gonna say it, I had a hard time trying to comprehend this because it doesn't go into a lot of detail.
No,
and to be fair,
like,
this is one of the more in-depth summaries of this movie that I could find. Like, the Lost Media Wiki one is just 2 single paragraphs, and the Wikipedia for the movie is just 3 paragraphs of plot synopsis. Technically, this IMDb one was all 1 paragraph, but it was just like a huge block of text, like humongous, absolutely humongous. When critics said that it was coasting on the name of Lon Chaney, they had some leverage here since Chaney is literally our main character. You know what? He's gonna be on the thumbnail too. There we have it, the plot synopsis. So with such a stunning movie, what happened to it next? MGM was the only known entity to have a copy of this film. I mean, unless you consider the possibility of Browning having a director's cut. I mean, it might be possible. The dude made a bunch.
That's possible too, but then we'd have to go down the line from Browning's estate and his children, if he has any, and you know, his ancestors. But you know, the whole thing about MGM being overprotective and like storing all their own things, it kind of bit him in the ass, didn't it? Now it doesn't exist at all.
Just had his own collection for his films. I honestly don't know. I tried to look for any sort of children that Browning may have had with both his first.
A vampire won't try to sell me Raid's Shadow Legends. Oh gosh.
However, I can't find any mentions of the chances that he had children. So if he did have a copy of the film, it either went straight to MGM or got passed around the family and is chilling in God knows where. Yeah, Browning had died in 1962, and in the scenario where the film went straight to MGM, things are not looking too good for the fate of this film. On August 10th, 1965, an electrical short in MGM Studio Vault 7 would ignite nitrate film. Nitrate film is a sort of material made of cellulose nitrate, which is extremely flammable. Like, I cannot stress that enough. It burns extremely quickly and is extremely toxic to breathe. The electrical short caused a fire and also a massive explosion. The explosion resulted in 1 death and the entire contents of Vault 7 destroyed. This is like the burning of the Library of Alexandria, but for early black and white and silent films. So it's been completely disappeared. off the face of the earth.
That's a good
at
way
least
of
on the
putting it.
Browning
Like,
and MGM
what else
side.
got
So I thought I'd
lost?
take
I
a
gotta
look
look
at
into that
one other
later.
thing
Like,
before
what
we
else
start
is
to talk
going
about
now?
what survived. That being the Lon Chaney
It's so
side.
tragic.
Since Chaney was a good friend of Browning, there's a slight chance that if Browning had a copy, it could have gone to Chaney. And this gets better, considering that Chaney had a son, Lon Chaney Jr., so the film had to go somewhere. Surprisingly enough, the Chaney legacy continues on to this day, with the name still being present in acting. However, they do not have it. I say this because, think about it, it's a film extremely influential to the industry. You're telling me that a literal actor would not release it by now? And this is just assuming that the family didn't just give away their copy because the film had literally no presence after Chaney's passing.
Maybe.
Outside of the fact that
I'm
it was...
just brainstorming here. Maybe the family has it, but they don't want to outwardly say they have it because they don't want MGM to reclaim it because they're so protective over their stuff. So maybe it's just they're among the private, like someone said there's a rumor of a private collector. Maybe that family is the private collector and they're just afraid of MGM like seizing it. I don't know if MGM can do that in this day and age, but maybe that's just a theory. It's just one very probably not correct theory I just had. And like same with the private collector. What if MGM tries to reclaim it? I don't know if they still have the rights to something that old. I probably don't, but maybe nobody's coming forward because they don't want to. They don't want to lose the thing they have in their possession because they're collectors and they it's a very prized, very rare, one of a kind possession. That's just me brainstorming. It's all probably like not correct, but
It's his last major role. So, where is this magical film now, if not with the families of those involved and burned to a crisp with the company that had its sole known copy? This is going to be speculation here, but there have been rumors about this film surfacing all over the world. There are crazy rumors, like it being in Cuba, but others say that it's still in the US. The most recent rumor came up in 2021 with an article from the Sitges International Fantastic Film Festival of Catalonia, claiming that it would be showing stuff found from London after midnight in a 16-minute screening. Attached was an image that, prior to the post, was found nowhere else. The film was intended to be shown in 2022, however the date for the 2022 festival has passed. There has also been no mention of any new footage online or shown at the festival, and if it were, 16 minutes do not account for the full length of the movie. So yeah, Film Festival got our hopes up and then didn't reveal any new information. You can't find the article for it anymore. Heck, I had to rely on Discord messages discussing the first mention of the article just to get a good portion of information about the Film Festival.
Yeah, that, so I don't want to show the whole video. Go to Sewer Reviewers channel if you want to see the rest. What happened to London after midnight lost media. I am probably going to head out because it's well after 7 and I'm very sleepy. But this has been very insightful and, gosh, who knows? Like, there's a lot of speculation here, but that's really all we have with this one. And I guess the Gamer from Mars made a video too. A lot of videos on this. This is a very famous piece of lost media, and I've always wanted to like read up on it because like I should know more about this as a lost media creator myself. So that was cool. That was cool. I learned a lot here. It's past 2 a.m. here, very sleepy. Oh yeah, I got some sleep too, Smith. Thank you for joining us. We seriously need to reach out to TCM. I feel like TCM would say something if they had it, because TCM is very outspoken about their efforts in film preservation, and they did release like still images and they did put it together. MGM, if they like, I think we know if they had it still, but what was the channel's name? Sewer Reviewer. He's a friend of mine. He's a cool dude. Very active in the lost media community. Let me go there. Highly recommend his stuff. The Sewer Reviewers, the channel. Highly recommend. A lot of lost media videos.
It's over. We're finally.
His best known is probably the Me and My Friends videos, but I really like his other stuff. A lot of lost media. But yeah, I'm probably gonna head out, guys. I'm tired. For me, it's 2:20 a.m., but I usually stay up till 3 or 4 a.m. Same, honestly. I'm usually up really late working, and I don't realize what time it is until it's like 2 a.m., and then I sleep till noon. That's my like vicious that's the cycle of my what's the word? That's the vicious cycle I'm a victim of. Get some good sleep. Thank you, Leon. Good night, AH Moonrise. Good night, Moonrise. I'll just call you Moonrise. Do go and rest, Sakurita. Been a very fun stream. Thank you. I really enjoyed this one. Let's do more Lost Media streams. I'll do another call to action for you guys to recommend topics. I know people said a few topics. I just wanted to make sure I talked about things people have already recommended weeks ago. I just want to be fair to them first. You're welcome, Eddie Bomb. Eddie Bam. I keep saying bomb like lip balm. Thank you, Eddie Bam. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Cosmodor. It was amazing as always. Go catch your Z's. Thank you for streaming. Thank you, Paprika Maro, for joining me. Animal Crossing. I love Animal Crossing. I don't, but it's, I lost my train of thought. Good night. I'm sorry I didn't catch most of the stream. No, you're good. The VOD will be on YouTube. The VOD will be on YouTube, and the VOD will probably be on Twitch. I turn on VODs on Twitch too, so there will always be a VOD on YouTube. I'm glad you guys had fun. Thank you. Thank you, Lunar. Thank you, Lunar. Thanks. You're welcome, Skylar. Pop Rock, have a good day. Record 1. Bye. See you guys. Love you all. Bye, Danny. Bye, Bobby Boulon. Bye, Swift Shift. Flickin' and Flaffles. Irene. Good night, Irene. Chameleon HRT, good night. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, LSD25, I think, is one I missed. But yeah, thank you to everyone. I'm sorry if I missed any of your names. I'm trying to look at 2 chats at once, so I'm sorry. But yeah. Good night, guys. See you in the next stream, which will be soon. You'll know. I'll let you guys know. All right, bye, guys.